get you through your drive home from work. If you playing the game, I hope I could bring you a little bit of joy while you playing the game. And I appreciate y'all. We're gonna start in a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, hold up. I already see that the chat is a little off. Hold up. 1 second, guys. Make sure everything is good. Clean that up just a bit. All right, I think we're good. How's the chat? Are we good? Yeah, looks like we're good. Let me just check the stream real quick. Yeah, I think we are good. I might need to, it's just a little too much to the, let me just clean that up. All right, that's perfect. Is it? What's up, guys? How y'all feeling today, man? I'm trying to get the chat right. My fault, guys. Let me make sure everything is good. All right, I think we're good. Yo, what is good, guys? What is good, YouTube? What's good, PlayStation Nation? It is your boy Persona of Gaming with Persona, host of When Persona Speaks, host of When Persona Interviews, and one half of the host of What's Up PlayStation Podcast every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Listen, I'm gonna I'm gonna be reviving the interview. Shout out to Bari. It's like I think it was like 2-3 weeks ago. Bari was like, Persona, you always say When Persona Interviews, but you ain't did an interview in a minute. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I'm gonna be reviving that series. It's just like a lot of people's schedules and whatnot don't really are always conflicting, or they gotta push it back or whatever. But I'm gonna put a tweet out, and I'm gonna put a tweet out probably this week asking everyone to tag someone that they would want to see me interview. And it's also got to be somebody I'm interested in. It's a couple of people in the community that I definitely want to sit down and talk to. Definitely going to make that happen for sure. So it's a few people, right? But yo, guys, quick question. Oh man, where my sounds? Where my sounds? Come on. There we go. All right, quick question.
I'd buy that for $1.
Would you buy that for $1? All right, guys. So listen, real quick, some housekeeping. All right. So for those that don't know, your boy has upgraded to Verizon Fios internet. Yes, the God tier internet. Yes, sir, the God tier internet. Right. And I've got the gigabit speed, right? So because I've got the gigabit speed, your boy is able to actually stream at a much higher and much more consistent quality. So what a lot of you might be seeing in the stream, for those that are watching on your phone, on YouTube, or whatever the case may be, now I'm streaming in 1440p, 60 frames per second. So, oh yes, the glorious 2K. Yes. So, we've graduated. You feel me? The quality of the streams are definitely going to get better. And another thing, I know a lot of people, I know a couple people have already said, Persona, when are you going to change the goddamn gameplay video? It's been so long. We've been watching the Aloy mission for how long now? How many months? And I'm going to change that this week as well, I promise. I promise. I know you guys are tired of seeing that. Should I be honest? I'm a little tired of seeing it too. So we're definitely going to upgrade that to the God of War gameplay or something, or probably Project Eve. I think Project Eve gameplay will definitely pull them in, right? We might update it to either God of War, Project Eve, or something like that. But I'll update the gameplay that plays while the stream's going, right? So yeah, those are the that bit of housekeeping, right? What's Up PlayStation, for those who don't know, What's Up PlayStation podcast was last week Friday. We had it on Friday. If you guys missed that, definitely go check out that show with me and Bari. Really good show. A lot of good topics, a lot of good things we talked about, right? So definitely go check that out. Yeah. Why not put them all Persona and let them loop? Huh. That might be something I have to figure out how to do that. I think you have to I have to download all the videos and then create one long video and then save it as a file, and I'll look that up. That's a good idea, Damien. I'll see. But okay. So, guys, what a time to be alive, guys. It is a lot of great games have released. A lot of great games are on the horizon. But the question I have to ask is, what are you willing to pay?
I'd buy that for $1.
I'd buy that for $1. You feel me? Listen, guys, it's gonna be a lot of good things we're gonna be talking about today. But before we get into anything, I definitely want to shout out everybody in the chat. Also, how was y'all weekend, man? Let me know how the weekend was. Dark Queen Gaming, what's going on with you, Dark Queen? Appreciate you coming through always. Yo, Damien, what's good, bro? Appreciate you, man. Gaming Night, what's good, Gaming Night, man? Appreciate you. Compost Smurf, what is going on with you, man? So hit the like button, appreciate that, bro. Don John Sean, what is going on with you, Don? Appreciate you coming through. Games for Eternity, what is good, Games? He says, I guess Aloy have noticed us by now, right? Yo.
Aloy, I want you to notice me.
Listen, Aloy has noticed us, man. She's noticed. It's enough notice, so we can move on from her. Viper Reap, what's good, man? Appreciate you, bro. Phil DVG, I think that's Phil Collins. Phil, what's good, man? He said graduated to a PS4 Pro internet connection. I graduated to a PS5 internet connection. You feel me? Yo, who else? Yo, Dan Gio, what's good, man? Appreciate you. Omar. Yo, shout out to Omar, man. Omar, he got a new he's already had his own YouTube channel, but Omar started doing a podcast on his channel called Gaming Slayer. He does it every Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern. It's him, Nate, Wraith, Kaylee, Morgan, and Stone, right? Omar, I think you said that's your panel. He had some people on last weekend though, like a bunch of different people. I think he switches out the people who are on his show. It depends, but definitely check it out if you guys enjoy. Definitely check that out and support. Yo, Sam Ash, what's good, bro? Buck Rogers in the building. Buck, how you feeling today? It's me, baby 80. What is good, what's good, everyone? Big up, appreciate you. It's me. Who else is here? Yo, Dylan Rafferty. Dylan, what's good, man? How you feeling today? Appreciate you. Requiem of Demons. Requiem, what's good, bro? How you feeling today? Yo, Carl Anchor in the building. Carl, how you feeling today, sir? Star Guardian 88. Yo, Star Guardian, what's good, bro? Appreciate you. Yo, Kelvin Smith, what is going on with you, bro? He says, listening while playing Kana. Pretty good, man. You know, I hope you enjoy that. And I hope I can get you through your game session, sir. So shout out to Kelvin Smith. Yo, Kakarot the 6th. What's good, bro? Appreciate you. Lorenzo Carson. Lorenzo, how you feeling today, bro? Yo, Caution. What's good, Caution? Appreciate you, bro. Link in the building. Link, what's good, man? How you feeling today? Mr. Go Try Hard Guy Uchiha. What is going on? Yo, listen. For my Naruto peoples out here, man. I don't know if y'all watching that show. I haven't really been following the show too much just because I kind of wanted to build. I wanted it to get far enough to where I can kind of binge it and kind of like, you know, as I'm binging, they keep putting out the new episodes, so it's kind of continuous until it gets to the end. But man, the what I saw was the last weekend or the week or a couple days ago with this latest episode of Boruto and what's going on in the show. Oh man. Oh shit. This is where I'm like, all right, now I need to start watching and paying attention because yo, this is happening. What is going on here? You feel me? So 100% I'm like, yo, what? Like what? They actually did that? So yeah, shout out to Boruto. It's finally starting to get good. So shout out to Boruto. Yo, Buck, what's good, man? I think I said what's up to you. Yo, Jackie, what's good, man? Make sure. Yo, Black Rob in the building. Black Rob, how you feeling today, sir? Yo, Webhead, what is good? Appreciate you. I don't know if I've ever seen you in the chat, Webhead. I hope you if this is your first time, I hope you enjoy your stay. And you know, if you've been around and just lurking, you know, I'm glad you finally felt comfortable enough to type in the chat. You feel me? Yo, Games for Eternity in the building. Games, what's good? Yo, Blackbeard, how you feeling today, bro? Yo, James Williams, what's good, James? Appreciate you, bro. Yo, El Matador, what's good, bro? Appreciate you. Juan Sosa Gaming. Juan, how you feeling today, bro? Issa ISA, what's good, man? How you feeling today? And shout out to the early birds, man. JP Loco, Buck Rogers, Blackbeard, Orion. Those were some of the early birds that came through. Appreciate y'all. I just want to make sure I want to scroll down, make sure I have everybody. I don't want to miss nobody. Yo, Dreology. Yo, Dre, what's good, bro? Appreciate you. Yo, Jay Swade. What is going on, Jay? Appreciate you. Who else is here? Yo, Hatsuma. What's good, bro? Appreciate you. Who else, man? Yo, Up Chuck Gaming. Chuck, how you feeling today, bro? Shout out to you. Shout out to Chuck, man. Yo, Bari, my boy Bari, the other half of Wups in the building. Shout out to my boy Bari, man. That man, yo, Bari, a great dude, man. Yo, Logical, what's good, bro? Logical, appreciate you. Wolf Flow, Wolf, what's good, bro? Appreciate you, Sam, man. Cyber Dragon, what's good with you, bro? Eastern Conference in the building. Corey Macy, Corey, what's good, man? Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Round of applause. Hit so hard to my 8th grade. Feels hit hard, bro. hit so hard. I'll let the notification pop before I say anything. Shout out to Hatsuma though. So again, I'm gonna ask a question for the Aziza. What's up, man? I'm gonna ask a question for the people in the chat, and I'll play this. I'll play the sound. How much would you buy that for? Let me see. Oh no, the sound won't play. All right, here we go. How much would you buy that for?
I'd buy that for $1.
So listen, man. The Power Man is here. I'm the Power Man, guys. It's all about keeping the same energy. You guys know how we do things here. And the Power Man is here today. And it's a couple things I want to talk about. You feel me? Like, listen. It's one of those things where, the Power Man is here. Right? The Power Man is here.
Mr. Game and Politician is here as well.
And listen, man, it's some things we want to talk about. Because listen, over the weekend, listen, I was gaming quite a bit this weekend. COD, Rogue Company, Uncharted 2. Remember, they said PlayStation don't got no multiplayer games. Or the multiplayer games that they play are old. And I'm like, is it the purpose of a multiplayer game for its replayability? Go play the game. Right? So I was playing a lot of games, but I seen because I grabbed the OLED Switch.
They're an anomaly. It's Nintendo.
I mean, look, you guys know, right? And I grabbed Metroid, right? Metroid is now. Listen, you guys know I ain't never gonna cap. I didn't play every single Metroid in the series, right? I'm not one of those super hardcore, got every single piece of Metroid memorabilia in my house type of, like, I ain't gonna cap for y'all, you feel me? I've played a couple of the Metroids back in the day. I played a couple of them on the Game Boy and on the GameCube. I think, Game Boy, GameCube, I think N64, right? And whatever. So I'm not the biggest Metroid go try hard guy, right? But I do like Metroid, man. I do think it's a dope series. I do like Samus. I think that's a dope character. The games that I have played, I do like, I like the Metroid series, right? So with Metroid Dread, it was a no-brainer that I was gonna pick that up. So I'm like, yo, man, it's a new Metroid game. It's been a while. We finally got a nice Metroid game on the Switch, right? So I was like, listen, I'm happy to support. I'm happy to play this game. I can't wait. That was my thought process. You feel me? No cap, right? Like one thing about me, and I think for those that have been following my channel and watch this podcast or watch WUPS or whatever, I think a lot of you can divulge from my thought process when it comes to gaming is that when I think of a game that I want to play, or when I think of gaming in general, if there's a new game coming out that I'm interested in, I'm gonna grab it. If I'm interested, I'm gonna grab it. Really, if it's something that I'm interested in but still a bit apprehensive, right? I'll ask people that I trust within the community. I'll ask, Bari, Dre, Chuck, whoever. It depends. Depending on the game that it is, it's a specific. I have someone that I can go to. I'm like, yo, man, what you think of this Court? Right? Shout out to my boy Court. I'll ask Court about certain more wacky games that I know he'll play, right? And kind of get his thoughts if I'm a bit apprehensive, right? And then based off what they say, I'll kind of lean towards all right, I could grab this, right? But with Metro, but one thing about me when it comes to gaming, and again, I'm not expecting everyone to be like me or think like me. That's one thing I always want to, Breeze the Dawn, what's up? That's one thing that I always reiterate to you guys is when I'm doing my show or I'm doing WUPS or whatever, and I'm talking to you guys about how I look at gaming and things like that. I'm only talking to you guys about that in the sense of how I view things, right? And one thing I've always maintained and I always say to you guys is, when it comes to gaming, how I view gaming, how I move when it comes to gaming and things like that, I'm not expecting everyone to agree with me 100% or even move the same way. Now, if it so happens that you hear my thoughts on something and it changes your mind on something, then great, cool. But I'm not here to push this ideology onto someone who does not want to move that specific way, right? Everyone's their own person. They're able to, you know, they're able to make their own decisions and things like that. You guys know. And I only say that because I always have to reiterate that because, you know how people can be, right? But when it comes to games that I'm interested in or a game that I'm going to play, if it looks fun, if it looks cool, right? If it looks like something that I can really sit down and play and engage in, what's going through my mind, 9 times out of 10, what's not going through my mind is the price. Right? I'm gonna be honest. And listen, I understand wholeheartedly that, you know, a lot of people are different, but for me, it's not the price. It's, oh, you know, can I see myself playing this, right? It's just something that I want to support and play, right? That's always been my thought process, and that will never change, right? In terms of, like, you know, this past weekend, I definitely seen a lot of people, and listen, we all get on Nintendo, right? I'll be the first one to tell you that I'm definitely, if Nintendo's on some bullshit, you know, for a fact, I'm gonna be the first one to speak up, right? But I think one of the things that is being misconstrued here is when it comes to Nintendo and how, and Metroid, you know, I seen some people comparing Metroid to like PlayStation 5 games, or comparing Metroid to like Last of Us and some of these bigger budget titles, and trying to justify why Metroid isn't worth $60, right? Or it shouldn't be 60, it should be 30 or 40 or whatever, right? And I'm going to attack this from 2, maybe 3 angles, right? But I want to start by saying this. When it comes to Nintendo and the fuckery that they, first off, this Metroid, if this was like just some port type of shit, right? If this was just like a port that was being done and like, you know, minimal effort or whatever the case may be, that's different, right? Where it's like, oh, well, you know, we know how Nintendo, you know, they like to release ports from like Wii U games at full price, $60, like, you know, and no price drops in sight. Like, that's something that I'll always get at Nintendo. Like, yo, if you releasing ports and you're not really putting a lot of effort into it, I definitely think something like that shouldn't be priced as high as, you know, a game that's being released for the Switch, you know, from the ground up or whatever. I think, you know, I definitely maintain that stance and think that that's true. But I think when it comes, and even when it comes to like price, even when it comes to like price drops, right? Because Nintendo, their games don't really go on sale, which I think is a problem. That I definitely think that is a problem, right? Because, you know, when you look at Nintendo and you look at their games, like for instance, Zelda Breath of the Wild, that shit's still $60, man. You walk in the store, that shit's $60, $55 maybe, right? It might be $55 now. And it's like, you know, you look at games like God of War, right? Very great game, like, you know, critically acclaimed games that, you know, will go on sale for like $10, right? And whenever you bring up those types of arguments with Nintendo, that's when they start saying, oh, well,
it's Nintendo. They're an anomaly. It's Nintendo. They're an anomaly. It's Nintendo.
You know what they like to say? That's when they like to start pulling out the, listen, when someone doesn't have an argument, like when it comes to Nintendo, it's always the, oh, well, they're an anomaly. They're in their own lane, blah, blah, fuck them. Listen, no. When it comes to Nintendo games not going down in price, that's where it's a problem. I'm like, look, this game's been out since launch. It needs to be like $20, like standard at this point, right? And people like to say, oh, well, you know, Nintendo games, they age very well and they're timeless, and like, nah, cut the bullshit, man. Cut the cap. Cut the bullshit. Okay, like no. Okay, that's where I'm like, all right, look, Nintendo needs to do better there, right? Or again, like I said, with the ports, right? When it comes to ports with Nintendo, like I said, I definitely think, yo, Blandrew, what's up, bro? I definitely think that is where Nintendo needs to do better, right? And be more, either do a little bit more when it comes to the port to make it a bit more of an appealing, make it a bit more of an appealing, enticing thing when it comes to that price, or kind of, you know, dial back. That's where I'm like, all right, I'm with you with that. That's my stance. I stand with the community wholeheartedly when it comes to that. But when we're looking at something like Metroid Dread, which is a brand new game that just released literally Friday, just released Friday or whatever. This is a brand new game made for the Switch. It looks beautiful on the OLED Switch and things like that. I can't justify people saying this game isn't worth 60 or shouldn't be 60 out the gate because they're comparing it to games like Last of Us Part 2, comparing it to games like God of War, whatever, or, you know, comparing the art styles or whatever to some of these other games and saying, oh, well, you know, this isn't worth the price, or the crazy shit that I've been seeing, like people kind of pushing this whole notion of emulating Metroid Dread and using PC emulators and all this other shit, right? All this craziness, right? I'm just seeing a lot of craziness. And so I put a tweet up this morning because one of the things that this community, listen, I've told you guys this before. I really have a tremendous amount of appreciation and respect for developers within this community, the developers within the game industry that really build these games and put out games and content and things like that. Because like I've said to you guys before, being in this community and seeing how people are, I would never in my life, I would never want to make games for y'all. Like, I'm being so serious. This may sound very fucked up, right? And again, I appreciate developers so much and appreciate the shit that they do, because I'm telling you right now, if I was a developer, I would be fired. I would be fired. Not because I'm messing up on the job. I would be fired because I told some asshole on Twitter, shut the fuck up. fuck out my mentions. You feel like that's where I would be fired for, because no, you feel me? I most definitely would not be making no games for a lot of people in this community, because one, a lot of these people that complain don't buy the games. Here's the problem in the community, and it's a problem that's continuing to grow, right? Is you're starting to see more people not want to buy games, right? And they make up every excuse. Now listen, I like I said, I stand with people when it comes to certain practices that Nintendo does, again, with porting or with not putting their games on sale or putting, permanently slashing the price of certain games. I stand with you on that, right? But when it comes to brand new games that are releasing on Nintendo, on the Switch, like, to say that these games shouldn't be 60 or shouldn't be 50 or whatever, and their argument being, oh, well, it's not enough this, not enough that, right? PlayStation Nation, I'm not even talking PlayStation Nation, I'm talking to everybody. The reason why, like, with developers, it's damned if you do and damned if you don't with this community, is because a game like Metroid Dread is getting a lot of hate. Well, not a lot of hate, I'm over exaggerating, but some people that's a little irate and speaking on how this ain't worth this ain't worth that, blah blah blah, whatever, right? But when it comes to games like Far Cry, and the reason why I use Far Cry, because Far Cry just came out last week as well, right? And we know that Ubisoft is notorious. For padding their games with a lot of busy work, right? Quote unquote busy work, right? Fetch, a bunch of fetch quests, collections, all the, for those that play a lot of Ubisoft games, you know what I'm talking about, right? And for a lot of people, they are tired of that type of model from Ubisoft. They are sick of Ubisoft padding their games with all this content, making these games so open world and putting all this stuff, this crazy outlandish stuff into the game as busy work to keep people busy and padding the game for longevity and blah 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 blah, right? A lot of people say they don't like Nintendo not Nintendo. They don't like Ubisoft games. They don't like their new formula of microtransactions, or whatever, or they're doing this artificial grind so that it pushes you to spend money, blah blah blah, whatever, right? But I'm speaking more so about the game. When it comes to those Ubisoft games, Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, Watch Dogs, whatever, there's a lot of busy work in the game, right? And a lot of people have said that Ubisoft needs to go back to their roots and, oh, I don't want to buy Far Cry because it's all this extra stuff that I just don't feel like doing, and it's too much to do on the map and blah, 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 blah. So a game like Ubisoft, a game like Far Cry, right, or something along those lines is something that people, and obviously there's other things that push people from wanting to buy into Ubisoft's games, you know, because it's very samey, whatever, right? But let's stick to a lot of the things that I've seen in the community of people complaints about certain Ubisoft titles. Again, Far Cry and Assassin's Creed, which is padded with a lot of busy work content and things like that. A lot of people don't want to buy those games, or some people don't want to buy those games because it's got too much content that they don't want to do. So where is the middle ground? Right now, obviously, you know, when we talking about worth is a subjective concept, right? And the reason why worth is a subjective concept is because one man's trash is another man's treasure. What you might view or deem as being worth a purchase, the next person may not, right? And even in this scenario, some people may feel, well, I enjoy Far Cry more than Metroid, and I think that's worth more because XYZ. And that, listen, you're perfectly fine to say that and feel that way. The problem, the problem here is the justification for one over the other in either way the pendulum swings. So if you swing more so towards Far Cry as being a justifiable purchase over Metroid, or vice versa with Metroid over Far Cry, the thing is that when it comes to the worth with Nintendo, or not even with Nintendo, but with Metroid, it is a brand new game that is releasing out the gate for the Switch, right? When it comes to Far Cry or a lot of other games that got a ton of content, we know how people don't like to grind for this content. They don't want to play the game and actually have to do work within the game. You know, we've got people that talking about they want to skip boss fights and just do the story, right? Like it's so crazy with this community, the amount of excuses and the amount of bullshit that people will put out just to force themselves to think and believe that they shouldn't have to buy this or pay this amount of money for this or whatever, XYZ. It's very crazy. And here's the other side of it. The other side of this is that when it comes to like a lot of the talks, and this is just me, this might be a stretch, right? And I might be reaching a little bit, like I'll see how y'all feel. But one of the things that I think is really messing with a lot of people's thought process when it comes to games is everyone is so enthralled in the Game Pass talks and arguments, right? Everywhere you look, you know, Game Pass this, fodder that, Game Pass fodder that, blah, blah, blah. It has consumed a lot of conversations for a lot of people, to the point where when a game is released and it's not PlayStation quality, or I don't even want to say a PlayStation quality, but it doesn't check off certain boxes for people, it's deemed Game Pass fodder, right? The problem with the problem with this is that for some people, you know, it's been Game Pass this, Game Pass that for so long that people are looking at everything and using this checkbox to determine if something is a service game or not. Back during last gen, right, or the gen before that, or the gen before that, or the gen before that, games have released and people bought what they enjoyed and what they liked, and that was it. Once these services got introduced, the way people are thinking and moving within gaming is very different. And I'll be honest with you guys, it's very new to, it's not new to me, but it's very off-putting. I'll say that. It's very off-putting because everything, no, I'm not even going to start a sentence by saying that. It's very off-putting because no one wants to buy games. Everybody's making up every excuse in the book why they don't want to buy this game, don't want to buy that game, why this game should be in a service for this, be in a service for that, this, that, prop up this, prop up that. And no one is trying, and it's not everyone, but there's people who do not want to buy games, and they're making up these excuses of why this is this and this is that. And it really is, every time I do a show, it's like they know, it's like outside they know, like, yo, Persona's doing a show, let's honk the horn. Assholes. And so it's like with all this Game Pass this and Game Pass that and all that, yo, a lot of people's thinking I really do think a lot of people's thinking when it comes to gaming is off, to where they don't want to support this, or if they support this, it should be at this type of price or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, bro, what games are people buying? If it's too much content, they don't want to buy it because they feel like it's patent and it's this. If it's too little content, then it feels like this, that, and the third. Third of all, right? I'm talking specifically to PlayStation, to the PlayStation Nation, right? Listen, some of y'all gotta stop, right? Because when it came to Returnal, a lot of people were singing that same tune, right? Remember Order 1886? Game was a 7-hour game. Is it worth 60? I thought it was. Order 1882 was great. Some issues here and there, but I thought it was a cool game. I didn't regret my purchase at all. Returnal, I love Returnal. I got a ton of replayability out of that and enjoyed that game. And a lot of PlayStation dudes would defend, well, it's a roguelike, and you know, you can die and do this, and you can do that, and a lot of people were making the excuses of, oh, well, what about Hades? Hades is doing this and that and this. Listen, and a lot of y'all were making up excuses for Returnal. And I love Returnal. I love Housemarque. And I would make those same excuses with you. Yo, Strictly, what's good, bro? Saber, what's good, man? Jamar, what's up? But the point I'm trying to make is, when it comes to Metroid, the same energy is not being kept. No one wants to support anything. And then this whole emulation stuff, where people are trying to push emulation and all this. Then when a game doesn't meet its sales quota, people want to act surprised when a studio they stop making a specific type of game, or don't want to make this no more, or start making the same old. You're not supporting the games, man. People that's not supporting the games be surprised when a specific game genre or a game itself doesn't get made anymore, or the studio shuts down or whatever. Everyone has all these people in this community, they supposedly have the fix for how to make games better and how to get people to buy this and buy that, but ain't nobody buying nothing. What are you supporting? I've always asked this, what are you supporting in this community? What are you buying and supporting? That's what I care about. I don't give a fuck about what you think this company should do to do that. What are you buying, supporting, and playing? And that goes across the board. That's not just PlayStation. That's not just Nintendo. That's across the board. Because if you're not putting your money where your mouth is, you're part of the problem. Feel how you feel about that. Who is supporting the hobby? The main thing, PlayStation Nation, I'm talking to you again. The main thing we love to say, oh yeah, the reason why PlayStation is this and getting all these deals and stuff is because PlayStation gamers buy their games. PlayStation gamers have no problem supporting the things that they love. But then the same PlayStation people want to turn around and try to shit on Metroid Dread. Cut the cap. Cut the cap. Cut the cap. Cut
Cut the cap.
Cut the cap, man. PlayStation Nation, cut the cap. You gotta cut the cap. 'Cause what's the main thing we boast about? Oh, well, you know.
I'll be honest with you guys, man. You know, PlayStation Nation, you know, we buy our games. You understand? We buy our games. You feel me? We support the devs. We want the devs to keep making great games. We support the devs.
We support the devs. We love gaming. We support the devs. We support great games. We support great gaming.
We support the devs. We support great games. We want the devs to keep making great games.
Why I see PlayStation? Why I see PlayStation people trying to shit on Metroid? Stop.
Cut the cap.
Stop it. You look foolish. You look foolish.
Cut the cap.
You look foolish. You can't sit here and tell me that you love PlayStation. You want the devs to keep making games and keep making great games and make this and make that, support this, support that, support. Okay. Shouldn't that support be universal across the board? And I'm not talking from PlayStation Nation. I'm just saying in general. I'm not saying everyone needs to go out and buy every single thing, right? But if you're someone that's preaching that PlayStation gets support for this, that, and the third, and how PlayStation's getting all these deals because people want to do things with PlayStation because they know that the community is going to buy games. If people are sitting here trying to preach why PlayStation is the best place to play games because of this and because of that, because we buy games and we support this and we support that, then you should be fixing your lips. To down a $60 game like Metroid Dread on Nintendo platforms. Why? How? They getting games. They getting great games. That community supporting games. What are you talking about? How? How can you in one breath say that PlayStation Nation supports games, we buy our games, we support our games, but then in the next breath, shit on Metroid Dread, shit on that community and claim that this isn't worth it because X, Y, Z. Cut
the cap.
Stop it, man. Stop it, man.
I'm a PlayStation fan too.
I'm a PlayStation fan too, man. Stop it. You gotta stop. Dark Queen said, just buy games that, as you should. Listen, buy what you like and support what you want to support. Ladies and gentlemen, support what you love. Support what you want to support. Continue to do that. Continue to do that. But if you're someone that praises the support from PlayStation's community when it comes to games that come out and why people keep coming over here, but then try to shit on the other community of people elsewhere in other areas and trying to shit on Metroid Dread, like, what? Yeah, how long it's been since we had a Metroid game? That's 1. 2, it's made on the Switch. 3, it's a great game. Have you played the game? What is it that people love to say? Oh, well, how are you shitting on the game? You never played it. That's what they love to say in this community. The same energy is never kept across the board, ladies and gentlemen. It is a problem. The same energy is never kept across the board. Oh, well, how can you say that?
How can you sit there and say this game is shit? Have you played it? Have you played the game? It's a great game if you play it. Have you played the game? You might enjoy it. How can you say Returnal's bad if you've never played the game?
help me out. Somebody help me. Help me out. Because it's not making sense to me. Now listen, I'm a little smarter than the average bear, okay? It's not making sense to me. It don't make sense. I saw Metroid Dread, and I'm like, yo, this looks dope. I can't wait. That's all that entered my mind. I can't wait to play the game. I can't wait to enjoy the game. That's what entered my mind. But see, in the new age of gaming, in the new age of the gaming community, it can never just be just that. It can never stop at just that. There's always these loopholes and hoops and this and that and this and that. And, well, it's got to be this. No, it's got to be that. No, it's got all these things just to justify not purchasing the game. That's the gaming community 2021. All talk, no action. All talk, no support. Across the board. All talk and no support. But then wonder why, oh, why is this game going here? Why is this game going there? Well, why does your mind want to put games on PC? Well, why does he want to do this? Why won't they do this? Why do you want to do this? It needs to be exclusive to this. This should be exclusive to this. Why won't they do this? Why is Xbox doing this? Why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? Because you won't buy the games. It's that simple. You won't buy the games. You won't support the games. You won't buy the games. You won't support the devs. Well, this is $1 billion company, so why should I give them more money? They should do this and that. It's every excuse in the book. But then when gaming goes the way that it goes, you want to complain. No, you can't complain. No more complaining. No more complaining. Because quite frankly, you got two options. In my book, you've got two options. Either you support gaming or you shut the fuck up. Those are your two options. As far as I'm concerned, those are your two options. Either you support gaming or you shut the fuck up, right? Why are games going up in price? Why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? They won't do this. Why is this Michael Jackson says this? Why are they doing that? Always complaining, but never putting your money where your mouth is. Okay, you don't like this, fine. What do you buy? Well, I don't buy this. I wait for price drops. I wait for this. Stop doing this. Stop doing that. Why is gaming going to this? I don't like services. I don't like this. I don't like that. Blah, blah, blah. Well. Shut up. You've got two options. As far as I'm concerned, with this gaming community, you've got two options. Either support the devs and support great games, or shut the fuck up. Those are your two options. Those are your only, as far as I'm concerned, those are your only two options. You don't get no third option with me. Either you support the devs and support gaming and support the hobby of gaming, or you shut the fuck up. That's it. That's it. And if gaming continues to go the route that it goes, in the way that it goes, and you continue to not support the devs, and continue to not buy games, and continue to not support games, and continue not to do this, and continue not to do that, and more games go multi-plat, more games go to PC, more games go here, more games go there, so be it. 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 Who's gonna complain? You complain about everything else, and this is where we're at. So that's it. Games are going up in price because they're costing more to make. Either support it or don't. But if you don't support it, but you still want to complain, my words to you are, shut the fuck up. This game's releasing at $60 with too much content, too much busy work. This game's releasing at $60 with not enough content. The game needs to be 15 to 20 hours. And listen, either buy the game or don't. But if you don't buy the game, Shut the fuck up. Oh, well, this billion-dollar corporation, they don't deserve more of my money. This game shouldn't be doing this. Oh, well, this game should come to PC, but shouldn't go to PC because it's going to devalue the brand. Oh, but I shouldn't have to buy this game at $70. You have two options. Either support the game or don't. But if you don't, I think you know where I'm going with this. Shut the fuck up. That's it. For me, at this point, that's it, man. That's it. Because it's getting to the point where it's getting to the point where I'm starting to see a pattern with too many of the same people, but not enough actions. I'm seeing a pattern with the same people, with the same personalities, the same shit, and not enough actions. Not enough gaming, not enough support, but always yapping off at the mouth. Yap, 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 yap. Talk, 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 talk. But no support. No buying games. No sharing gameplay. No sharing your experiences. But always fucking talking. Always talking. Always talking. Always talking. Always talking. Always talking about gaming this, gaming that, games with this, games with that. This should be this should be that. Always talking, but never showing gameplay, never showing support. Not even, you can't even show your PSN or gamer tag. Shut the fuck up. Like that's where I'm at, man. No more debating. No more giving a reason for this. No more being yo, Saber, come into the Saber. I'm not answering none of your questions until you come into the Discord and have a conversation. No, I didn't buy Flight Sim because that's not a game I'm interested in. And I said at the beginning, buy the things that you are interested in, but to cap and say this isn't worth this because of this, that's not because you're not interested. It's because you're making an excuse for why a game isn't worth 60 for lack of content, but wouldn't support a game that's got an abundance of content because you think it's busy work. Saber, either you come into the Discord and we have that conversation, or you shut the fuck up. That's my two options with you, Saber, because you know what I'm talking about and you know what I'm saying when I have this conversation. So Saber, either come into the Discord, the link is in the chat, come into the Discord, or you shut the fuck up. Those are your two options. Anyway, like I was saying, I lost my train of thought. You see, Saber, you made me lose my train of thought. That's it. That's it. At this point, man, I'm tired of it. People on social media, we keep having the same conversations, man. We keep having the same conversations, man. It's the same conversations, the same talking points, and I'm like, bro. I'm looking through this and I'm like, yo, I don't even want to engage with this stuff no more, man. That is where I'm at. Where I'm like, yo, I do not want to engage with this stuff because it's bullshit, man. Oh, devs need to do this. Devs need to do that. Support this, support that. Do this, do that. PlayStation Nation always buying games because they doing this stuff. Yo, bro, it's the same talking points, the same conversations, and I'm tired of it, man. I'm tired of it. That's why I don't engage. I don't engage anymore, man. I stop engaging. Right now, certain times if someone's saying some off the wall shit, fine. I stop the debating. I just stop it all, man, because I'm looking at the stuff that I'm supporting. I'm looking at the stuff that I'm playing, the stuff that I'm enjoying, and I'm seeing the shit that the rest of the people in this community are saying, and it's not lining up, man. The games that I'm playing, the games that I'm enjoying, the things that I'm doing, the things that I see other people that I fuck with, what they're playing and doing, and then when I'm looking at the rest of this community, it does not add up. It does not line up, and I'm done. It's over, bruh. It's over, bruh, because it's like, yo. Niggas keep people. Sorry, I didn't mean to say the N-word. People keep talking. I'm trying to change my vocabulary, but people keep saying how, that everyone always has an excuse of what devs need to do. This is my thing, man. I'm about to get on a soapbox real quick. This is my thing. Everyone has a thought or an opinion about what devs need to do better in this area, that area, this area, that area, but no one is supporting, bruh. No one is supporting because the sales numbers don't add up. The amount of people that are talking about this, that, and the third, and the sales numbers do not add up. The things that people are saying with this community, the things that people are saying with all this support this devs and support smaller devs and support this and support that. Excuse me. And support all this support that, but they not, it don't add up, man. You don't see the support on their timeline. You don't see any remnants of this with a lot of people in this community, man. I'm done debating about it. I'm done talking about it. I'm done conversing with these people because the route that gaming is going, listen. One thing about this community that I realized, I think I started to realize it during once spaces kind of started popping off. I'll tell you guys a quick story. Something, not a story, but like something that I've been thinking lately. And I've kind of talked about it in small spurts on the show. But I'm gonna lay it out all on the table here today. One thing I've learned about, one thing that I've picked up, HG, come through to the Discord. Let's have that conversation. First off, HG, if I cry too much, why you here? That's one. HG, if I cry too much, why you here? Leave. You don't need to be here. One thing about like this community, people, they hate you, but they still watch your content. I don't watch, if there's someone that I truly dislike, or I don't really rock with their content, I don't watch them. I don't watch anyone that I can't tolerate to listen to. Why the fuck would you sit in this podcast for an hour now and listen to me, quote unquote, cry or complain? Why are you here? That's how much of a loser you must be. Anyway, one thing about spaces that I've learned and picked up on is a lot of people in this community want to be popular. They want to be popular within this community. Oh, HG, you know my mod's gonna snipe you. Say some stupid shit in the chat, the mod's gonna get you, bruh. It ain't gonna slide here. A lot of people want to be popular within this gaming community and want to be the next the next cover girl. Right? Everybody wants to be the next cover girl, the next front page magazine star, right? Everybody want to be a star. But within the gaming community, there's certain, at least for me, I'm speaking for myself, there's certain boxes that you need to check off. There's certain boxes you need to check off before you can truly be somebody that's respected in this community and in this space. Right? Everybody want to be a star in the gaming community. Everybody want to be the next it guy or it girl or it person, right? Everybody wants that following and the millions of this and millions of that and da-da-da-da-da. But the bare minimum that would garner you a level of respect within this community, a lot of people don't do. And it's shown through spaces. Now you're a fraud for not wanting to spend $70 on incomplete games. I'm way too stoned to keep up. Shout out to Wolflow. But listen, man. Listen. At this point, I say this: do what you do. Now, obviously, every dev obviously there's not caveats. What's the word I'm looking for? There's I'm not caveat is not the word. I guess it is caveats. There's caveats. I think that's the right word I'm looking for. There's caveats to what I've said, obviously. But one thing I've noticed about this community is that a lot of people, a lot of talking, not enough action. And when it's time to show up, a lot of people don't show up. And that's the problem. Now listen, you ain't got to buy everything under the fucking sun. No one's expecting that. You don't got to buy everything under the sun. But for a lot of people in this community, they don't want to buy anything. They don't want to buy nothing. And it shows through their actions. Every excuse in the book. Every single excuse in the book. Now, granted, let me not even say that. You can Game Pass for that. Yo, Hen10, what's up, man? DeFloyd, what's up? Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Appreciate y'all. I want to hear y'all thoughts. Am I off base? Am I off base, guys? I want to hear y'all thoughts. Because maybe what I'm talking about does not make sense. Maybe I'm full of shit. Right? I'm in the Discord. In the conversation. I'm in the Discord, man. Yo, Saber, I want you to come through. You talk a lot in the chat, and I appreciate you for that, Saber. But Saber, I want you to come through to the Discord. That's what I want. I want us to have a conversation where we both can speak. Not full shot, just 3/4 on this. What do you mean, Saber? Let me know. Yo, we got Blandrew and King Thrash in the building. And Hen10, what's up, guys?
How's it going?
What's
Blandrew,
good? What's good?
I knew Blandrew was gonna show up for this conversation.
What up?
I knew Blandrew. Yo, Hen10, what's up? I knew Blandrew was gonna pull up for this one.
Is my mic coming through?
Absolutely.
I knew Blandrew was gonna pull up for this one. Yo, All Might, what's up, man? And yo, shout out to everybody here, man. All right, so I definitely want to start with Blandrew. Talk to me, Blandrew. Talk to us, man. Like, what are your? Am I off base, Blandrew? Am I not making sense?
Give me the short synopsis of what you're saying.
So essentially, what I'm saying is, somebody's got me playing in the background, so I'm hearing like a.
Yeah, hold on a second. I'll fix that.
All right, cool. So essentially, Blandrew, what I'm saying is that when it comes to the Metroid, and certain people shitting on Metroid, saying that it's not worth 60 because of either not enough content or the presentation, I'm saying that when it comes to games like Far Cry or Ubisoft games or any game that has a lot of content but too much content to the point that it looks like padding, a lot of people are apprehensive of wanting to support that because they think that it is a lot of padding and too much to do.
Okay.
So on one hand, Metroid Dread is too little of content for the price, that the asking price, but on the other hand, a game like Far Cry or Assassin's Creed or whatever is too much content for the sake of, padding the game. Like it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation.
Yeah. In my opinion, it's just people looking for yet another reason to not buy and support a game. What I saw yesterday on Twitter, you had the media coming out here supporting piracy of Metroid. And mind you, this is the same media that was out here for generations now asking Nintendo, I'm tired of Mario and Zelda. Where is the next Metroid installment? This is the game we've been waiting 19 years for, and the first thing they want to do is tell everybody to go out there and pirate the game. I don't understand what's going on here. And then even like outside of the media as well, you had a lot of PC gamers, and mind you, the PC gamer, they have that mindset where if you look at a PlayStation game, oh, it's too samey, it's too cinematic, I'm tired of the over the shoulder third person cinematic experience. Where's the creativity in gaming? And then when Nintendo gives them such a title, they're first in line to steal it. Trash, man. And like even just outside of the realm of Metroid, even like as far as we're concerned about like YouTube and everything, if we're not getting support, you're not hitting the like button, you're not showing up to the streams, what incentive do we have to continue doing what we're doing? Like this is not an industry that just, you know, survives off goodwill, that just survives off, you know, praise and everything. Support is needed here. Your dollars are needed here. I know we like to say this is $1 billion company, but sales matter at the end of the day. We lost one of my all-time favorite studios in Japan Studio because support wasn't there. We lost a lot of Nintendo franchises from the past because support wasn't there. And for some reason, this modern day generation just thinks everything that they like should be free, and I don't understand that.
Yeah, man, we definitely are the dinosaurs when it comes to a lot of gaming today and how it's consumed. I mean, obviously there's a lot of other ways to play games, right? And listen, and Blandrew knows this, and like I said in the chat, well, in the beginning of the show, I stand with everyone where people say, you know, Nintendo ports either need to be better for the asking price or need to be lower. I stand with everyone when they say that Nintendo's lack of putting games on sale or permanently slashing the price of certain games, I stand with them on that 1,000,000%. But it's not like Metroid Dread is a port of some shitty port. This is a game built for the Switch and it's coming out this year. You get what I'm saying? This is a game that you know, it looks great on the OLED Switch. You know, it looks beautiful in the handheld on the OLED screen and whatnot. And this is a game that, you know, again, one man's treasure is another man's treasure. Worth is a concept that can be talked about to the end of time, but for me, I think it's worth it. I definitely think it's a great game, and I think a lot of people who are shitting on it either don't like the Metroid series, never played Metroid games, or really just going off of what a lot of their favorite YouTubers or whatever are saying. That's what I personally think. My
thing is, why did they wait till now to start pushing these stupid narratives? Why would a game like Metroid that has historically not sold all that well, did everybody all of a sudden want to jump out in front of piracy, jump out in front of stealing, jump out and saying what's not worth $60 and all that? Why don't you go do that to the next busted Madden or NBA game or something like that? That will get a guaranteed sequel the following year.
Y'all listen, y'all know me, man. I've always maintained the same energy of you know, no game should be on PC. No game belongs on PC, in my opinion, man. And that's I don't care if it's a Nintendo, Xbox, or PlayStation game. None of those games belong on PC, in my opinion. I mean, but that's me.
They're the worst too, because they like to justify their stealing by saying, nah, man, I'm just trying to preserve history. You know, 30 years down the line, I might not be able to play. Like, bro, the game is available right now. You can buy it, you can play it, you can enjoy it.
Yeah, and they were doing it like before the game even came out. That too.
Yeah, and they were happy and proud to show you they were stealing it as well.
Yeah. It's that side of things is crazy. And then it's like when studios, like you said, when studios shut down or when games go away or don't get made for 20 years, and you know you got people begging, and it's like, yo, you didn't support, not you, but like, when they're looking at the numbers, they're saying, you know, the amount of people that are asking for these versus the people that are supporting, it's not adding up. You get what I'm saying? A lot of people are all talking, no action, right? And then that's why I'm saying, when it comes to this community, moving forward for me, it's two options, because I'm not debating, right? I'm not trying to change nobody's mind no more, because gaming is most definitely moving in a very different direction that, as for years, I've said, support. It is very important that you support your hobby, support gaming, blah, blah, blah. I've always maintained that energy, but gaming is moving, from what I'm seeing right now, from what Sean Layden said, shout out to Sean Layden, to what Jim Ryan has said, right, and things like that. I think gaming is moving in a direction as a whole, in a manner that it's not going to be too pretty. Like, a lot of us are not going to be too happy about it, but again, people aren't supporting. And now with the introduction of services, and listen, this is not a shit on Game Pass fest, but what I'm saying is, with the introduction of services, that whole incentive to want to support a dev, it goes out the window for even more people much quicker. Because now you've got the services. Now it's like, well, why can't this just be in Game Pass, or why can't this be in PS Now or Stadia or whatever, right? This isn't a shit on Game Pass thing. I'm just saying, it's just an additional thing that's hastening the I don't want to say the death of gaming, but how we consume games.
Yeah, you even when what's it called? What was that hack and slash Bandai Namco game that just came out? The RPG one, not Tales. Scarlet Nexus.
Oh yeah.
Scarlet Nexus came out a few months ago, and it was like $60 at launch, and then they eventually brought it to Game Pass, and people felt like they got ripped off and mad because they bought it day one.
Yeah.
When they could have just had got it on Game Pass.
Yeah.
That's the direction we're heading into, where buying a game day one is considered getting ripped off.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, but then where does support go to the company actually making the game, especially when the game costs so much?
Well, that's what I'm saying. The game, we don't really know the budget of every game that releases, right? The budget of the cost of making a game, staffing up the people to get the game made in a timely manner, promoting whatever things might be. We don't really know the budget of every single title, but I think what a lot of people are doing is they're looking at how the game looks when it releases and determining or deciding, well, this isn't worth the asking price because of how it looks or because of the lack of content in the game. And
yeah, but it's not like these developers live on bread and fucking water. People need to understand that shit.
No, they're not living on bread and water. I get that as well. But I think when it comes to gaming and support and the hobby, I do think that, if we want gaming to continue to thrive, right? I'm not forcing that type of, I'm not one thing I want to say, and I think for those that watch me enough, I would never try to push my ideologies on anyone. But what I'm saying is, if gaming is everyone's hobby and they want it to continue to thrive and things like that, you do have to support it, And again, you don't have to support every single thing. No one is asking for that, and I'm damn sure not expecting that of anyone here. But what I'm saying is, when it comes to the games that you like, right, support them. A lot of people love this game. I love a game, but then say, oh, well, it should be in, I'll wait on a sale, or I'll wait on it. And it's like, well, damn.
How is that such a hard concept to understand? I don't know. I understand the mindset of these idiots.
Another thing they don't understand is how long has it been since they actually released a fucking Metroid game?
7 years.
A minute.
It's been about 7
years.
As
far as 2D Metroid has been 19, like the follow-up has been 19 years. People have been waiting since the Game Boy Advance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That's so long.
I would gladly, that's what I'm saying. I have no problem supporting it, because it's like, like I said, I'm not the biggest Metroid fan, and I'm not going to say and pretend like I'm,
I started off with Metroid.
Yeah, but I have played enough Metroids to be like, I'm happy to support this, because I would love to play another Metroid game like this. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, you want to keep the legacy going and shit.
Yeah. Let me get a couple other people's thoughts. Go ahead, Chris. You got the floor. Go ahead.
Let me say something about this whole Metroid shit, because some of the people that I see complaining about it being $60, right? I just got a question for those people. First of all, if the game was $30, would you have bought it? Are you interested in Metroid? Are you a fan of Metroid to even care about the game? If the answer is no, it's like Persona said, then shut the fuck up, because these people were never gonna buy the game. So why are they complaining about something that they were never gonna buy? Exactly. Some people are complaining about the game, don't even have a Switch. They're not interested in Metroid. If the game was $30, they wouldn't have bought and supported the game. So why the fuck are y'all? Why the fuck are people complaining? Now I can understand some people be like, you know what? I'm interested in Metroid, but I don't think I want to pay $60 for it. At a lower price, I will get it. But some of these people that are complaining don't even have a single interest in that. But yet they're sitting there comparing it to Uncharted 4. The graphics on Uncharted 4, they're sitting there, you know what I mean, saying that, the game, it's a low budget indie game and shit like that. It's like, bro, first of all, if you don't like it, you don't buy it. If you don't like it, don't buy it. If the game was $20, you still wouldn't have bought it. So why are you complaining about something you were never gonna buy in the first place? That's the shit that I don't understand. Like, I'm not a huge Metro fan. Metro. I'm gonna get the game. I haven't got it yet, but I'm gonna get the game.
Oh, but damn, you ain't got the game yet? What's going on, Chris? I'm kidding.
What?
I'm kidding. Go ahead.
You have the game.
Because I'm playing through all my other backlog. I'm playing through my fucking backlog. I got Shin Megami Tensei, I got Nocturne I gotta get through, and all that other shit. I'm getting the goddamn game.
Mm-hmm.
But I bought not Breath of the Wild, Skyward Sword. You know, I bought that shit. I didn't feel no type of way paying for that shit. I bought it because I enjoyed it. I didn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? So it's like, just buy what you want, man. If not, just wait for a sale. I understand Nintendo games don't go on sale that often, but Walmart, Best Buy, and shit like that will have games on sale. But Skyward Sword was on a $40 sale like 2 months after launch at Best Buy.
Yeah, Nintendo games take a hot minute for it to get on sale or have a deal or something like that. Or if you always use those damn coins and stuff like that, they have too.
Yep.
But is that all they said, or what? I mean, like, was it too short or something?
Well,
Metro games are always short, though.
The game, the Metroid game is about from what I'm saying with the how long to beat. They're saying about 8 or 9 hours, just like straight playthrough.
Yeah, but see, with that logic, it's the same logic that bots use against games like Ratchet and Clank. Oh, it's 12 hours for $70, or
well, no, Returnal, man. Like, I love Returnal, man, and you know, if you were to like run through every biome straight through the boss, it's about 6 hours too, depending on skill.
Yeah, but
you run it through that pretty quickly. Like, very quickly.
That's why I wanted to give my input on it, man. I had a conversation with somebody talking about how long it takes to beat a game or how long it takes to play. I asked the motherfucker, how long was the Order 1886? And he said, well, they said you can beat it in 6 hours and plat it in 8 hours. I'm like, well, it took me 10 hours. You know why it took me 10 hours? Because I'm not using a strategy guide. Because it's when it's your first playthrough, you don't just run through a game. It's almost impossible because you don't know where to run through at. Right. Like, it's just, I'm even seeing PlayStation gamers. This fucking pisses me off when I see PlayStation gamers talking about the price of Metroid Dread. And it's like, nigga, didn't you just have this conversation with Xbox niggas about $70 games for Returnal? It's like, yep. you can't tell a company how much their work is worth. They're telling you how much the work is worth, and you choose whether or not you want to pay for it. You don't tell them how. Nobody's going to tell you how. If you make something, nobody's going to tell you how much you should sell it to them for. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be like, this is what it's worth. You know what I'm saying? And it's stupid to see gamers talk about shit, nigga. Just game. If you don't want it, if it's too much for you, then don't buy, nigga. When the PS3 first came out and it was $600, I did not buy. You know what I'm saying? It was too much for me. I'm not gonna buy that shit. I'm not gonna get 2 jobs. I'm gonna wait for that shit to go down or whatever the fuck y'all gonna do, and then I bought it. That's it. There should be no complaints. Nobody's forcing you to buy Metroid. And like nigga said earlier, the main people complaining about this shit are people who wasn't gonna buy it in the first place. And it's just like Xbox fanboy activity.
Exactly.
Yep. Exactly like it. Exactly.
And the whole thing with the graphical presentation. Listen, I bought Eve 9. It came out this year. I bought that shit day one. I pre-ordered it, right? $59.99. That game graphically looks like a PS3 game, but the gameplay was amazing. The story was good. The characters was great. That game is better than fucking Far Cry and shit like that. That is a AAA game that has like high graphical settings and whatnot. So I don't get the whole what about the gameplay? What about the gameplay experience that you get with the game? And that's something that Nintendo, does. Yeah, the Switch is weak, so it's not going to be super graphically intensive and shit like that. But they provide was like gamey ass games, like video game. You know what I mean? Like straight gameplay and shit like that. So,
well, me, I don't even think the Switch is weak. In fact, it's most powerful. It's the most powerful handheld ever created. There's different reasons why it's weak. It can't run a game at 4K. How long the battery life gonna last on that? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's why your game plugged into a fucking wall. For us to even produce some shit is just insane. Like, what the fuck? They have a product and they're delivering it to you in the best way that they can. That Steam Deck that's coming out, how much resolution is on that motherfucker? 720p? You know what I'm saying?
It was like 800.
It's 800p. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, even the Switch got higher resolution games than that. So it's like, man, and then the same thing with the with the whole the graphics. I'm like, nigga, somebody told me, oh, it's a 2D side scroller. It shouldn't be this price. I'm like, nigga, Street Fighter was $59.99. That's not even side scrolling. That motherfucker was just 2D. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got 2 characters on the screen, you fight, and then you wait 6 months for them to give you another season of characters that they should have gave you in the first place. for you to buy. So it even costs you more than $59.99. And none of you fuck niggas say shit. That shit didn't even launch with an arcade mode. The fuck is going on right now? But they talking about what games should cost what only when it's opposite of what they play, and that's fanboy shit. Even no matter what side you want.
Yeah,
if you if you love Metroid, then you picked up Metroid like I did, and I love that shit straight up. You know what I'm saying? And other than that, shut up. Like it's weird.
Let me Barry, what's up,
absolutely.
Bro?
What's up, Barry?
Yo, what's up, gamers? What's up, gamers that buy games? Huh?
What's up? What's up, gamer?
What's up?
That buy games? What's up?
Listen, man. Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all something about life. Listen, people have jobs. They have kids. You know what I mean? They don't have to buy the game. They can steal it. Huh? They can steal it and give a review on Twitter, huh?
Oh, no.
That's what gaming is now. Accept it. We steal games out here, and then we give a piss poor job review and keep it moving, huh? Yeah, you know what? I'm disgusted with these gamers, man. Because I'm catching up on things. I saw it on like earlier this week. I saw people was putting up like impressions of Metroid Dread. I'm like, oh shit, niggas is moving up. You know what I mean? People getting review scores. Guess what? Silly me, huh? Silly me giving people the benefit of the doubt. No, these motherfuckers were stealing the game. This shit is crazy, man. And then 2 months later, these same motherfuckers that stealing the game, right? They gonna have a podcast 2 months later talking about, oh look, gamers ain't supporting the game, ain't support Metroid Dread. Oh, it bombed, it flopped. Yeah, because you out here pushing and telling people it's okay to steal games. Like, how old are you, man? These motherfuckers is 40 years old, 50 years old, 35 years old. You are not 12. You are not 15. You know what I mean? It's not no NES Classic and all that bullshit. Yo, listen, I stopped doing all that pirated shit back when I was like probably like 22. You know what I mean? Because I was pirating shit. You know what I mean? And then I got that yellow letter. If you guys know what I'm talking about, that yellow letter from your ISP. Say cut that shit out, cause we have to block you. You know what I mean? And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stop doing that bullshit because I'm gonna start supporting all these movies. If I like an artist, I'm gonna buy their shit. And and when it comes to video games, these people say they claim to love video games, but they hate to support it. I just don't understand this bullshit.
Well, Barry, this is what you have to understand. I have a wife and kids, right? I got a life. You know, I get women, so I don't have time to be caring about what again.
Nah, niggas gotta stop that bullshit because they on Twitter Space, they on podcasts, they on the back on Twitter Space. Then they changed the title of the Twitter Space that they was on the Twitter Space, talking about they love gaming. Motherfuckers is giving out their biography, talking about, hey man, thank you Omar, man, thanks for letting me talk. You know, when I started gaming, I just love gaming. I just love pressing A and B. I love gaming. And two days later, they out here stealing Metroid.
I was playing Sonic 2 at my aunt's house when I was a little kid, and ever since then,
exactly, Benj. And the thing is, this is what I told y'all. I think I was on Luca's Twitter Space when I told y'all that when more people come into this space, you know what I mean? Right. They're gonna start dictating rules and all this bullshit, all this stuff about easy modes and skipping boss fights, and I don't need to buy a game to support it. I can steal it. They're gonna start coming up in here. I keep telling y'all, gatekeep these motherfuckers, because they're gonna come up in here and they're gonna set these standards that is asinine. Yeah, gatekeep them. I don't give a fuck. Gatekeep these motherfuckers. People like that like to steal games, don't support shit, needs to be called out. It needs to be ridiculed, because that's how these people, they care about other people's opinions and shit. That's the reason why they steal and they want to give out a quick review. You know what I mean? These motherfuckers never played Metroid, but talking about content. What the fuck is going on here? Have you never played a 2D Metroid? Who the fuck wants to play a 20-hour, 30-hour Metroid game?
Have you ever played a 2D game in general?
This shit is crazy, dog.
Well, you know what it is,
people are looking at my phone to cut you real quick. People are looking at the fact that it's 2D and using that and using that as the reason why it shouldn't be 60.
Persona,
and I'm
you
like,
see the upgrade. If you ever played Metroid back in the day, You
That's
see
an
the
upgrade.
visual, and you see the
Huge
you
upgrade.
can even see the lighting. I posted a video before, you know, I had to do what I got to do. I posted a video showcasing the lighting with the beam cannon when she's shooting the light and the beam, and you see the actual projectile being reflected on the floor. And the charge, you know, it's like things like that is being added. There's more animations going on. There's more cutscenes going on that typically a Metro game never really had like that. But people's like, oh, it's not worth 60. Shut the fuck up.
I think people, and I highly disagree what I'm about to say. I think people look at a game like Returnal, and then they look at a game like Metroid, and then they think, hey, not worth it. If I had a Switch, I would buy Metroid Tier 1. I'm a huge Metroidvania fan.
Well, I have the game.
The thing is, Returnal is not even categorized like. I mean, you have elements.
Nah, it is
a lot of things is
definitely
based off of.
what's called Metroidvania.
No, they have elements of like Metroidvania. It's a roguelike game. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
There's
it's
elements.
definitely
There's a lot
roguelike.
of games that's based off of Metroid. Like Metroid got its own genre, like Metroidvania. Yes, there's elements of it, but it's not exactly like Metroid.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, the only thing you got in common with Returnal is that they're both white women in spacesuits. That's it.
Yeah, in the original Metroid, you know, you went through like getting all the health packs and the bombs and all that stuff. In Returnal, everything's random, all the items and stuff like that.
Yeah, right. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that there's not no Metroidvania elements in there where you get other abilities that now you can progress through this area, but Metroid been out since like how long now? Since early fucking 90s, man. You know what I mean? People's inspired by it. No different than how people inspired by Souls games now, where they have Souls elements in their games.
But see, that's the thing though. Even with Returnal, again, people were saying that wasn't worth 70. And saying, oh, the game it can be beat like this, or it doesn't have a save mode, or whatever the case may be.
So I'm gonna tell you something.
PlayStation 8, go ahead.
The people that keep saying that these games ain't worth whatever they're worth, they look at content for their worth, right? So they would look at if the game ain't 20 hours, 30 hours, whatever, it's not worth 60. People like that, those are the people that never will buy a game because majority of the games are not 30 hours, 50 hours long. You know what I mean?
But even with those 30 and 50 hour experiences, they're not even completing that.
Yeah, that is true. But like how I look into games. Yeah, how I look into games is like, yo, value is entertainment. You know what I mean? Like Thrash brought up you know, the Order 1886. People was complaining about that shit. But yo, I was so thoroughly entertained with that game. It justified the price for me. You know what I mean? Like, it's not about the length or what's in it. It's like, yo, is this game entertaining? Is the story good? Characters good? That's what value is to me when it comes to the price tag.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's more than just the length of the game. And to go back to what Barry said in the beginning, some of these motherfuckers, like, you can just tell they're inexperienced. You can just see it through what they say. Because, you know, again, Metroid has been 2D and 3D and all this, and all the games that have released, and like to see something like this and not say, especially if you haven't played it, and to say that this isn't worth the price of this, it's like, yo, what is going on? You know, Souls games can be beaten 5 minutes, and the community goes crazy, and those games graphically don't look, you know, they don't look the best. You feel me? Outside of Demon's Souls.
Is Resident Evil worth the 60? You can beat that game in like 5 hours. Resident Evil 8, I mean.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Can't look at length all the time. Yeah, I know graphics and all that stuff matters or what, but most people complain about length and content.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
The length and the content.
But Metroid looks great. I don't know what the fuck people.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, but see and that's the point I'm trying to make is that with Metroid Dread, the game looks good, like legit. It looks good, and it's weird to see people shit on this and not having played it. But even just looking at gameplay, you can see that it looks like a good game, and I'm like graphically or whatever, it looks good. Yeah. So it's very weird that a lot of people are.
Shout out to
it looks fluid.
I didn't even know these fucking PlayStation motherfuckers was even saying shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they always say shit
Yeah,
like
that's what they were saying. All weekend I seen it, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, that's why I said, yo, when it comes to PlayStation Nation, a lot of things PlayStation, the gamers like to say is, oh yeah, we got in Wolverine and Star Wars because we support games. And now, like, it just don't make sense, bro. It's weird, bro. And I'm like, you pride in PlayStation Nation for all this supporting games and supporting this and buying that, but shitting on Metroid for not being worth it and doing the same thing that other people do to PlayStation games. You doing the same exact thing.
Yep.
How the fuck that look?
Yeah, I was just about to say that. They're using the same logic as Xbox fanboys use against Demon's Souls, used against Ratchet and Clank, Returnal. It's the same goddamn logic that they're using. That's why I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Crazy.
New age. What was you gonna say, B Staples? What's up, man?
What up, man?
B Staples, don't bring your shit in here, boy.
Nah, man, no capping, man. I ain't doing no capping. Look, I think this is just people just caring about graphics too much, man. Like me, I think graphics is one of the least important things when I look at a game, in my opinion. But I mean, like, I was looking at Porter Rock. He said the game look like it should be 30 because of the graphics. Like, I don't really care that much about graphics to devalue a game's price. Like, some of my favorite games are not graphically impressive. Like Breath of the Wild, that's not.
What's not graphically impressive about Metroid? I'm still lost at that shit. Like,
I'm playing it right now.
I'm lost to like The Last of Us 2. Like, they're just gonna naturally do that. People are just gonna they're gonna compare it to games like they shouldn't be compared to games like that. But people are going to.
I need to see what people are seeing, because what I'm seeing, like, no cap, bruh. Like, this ain't no cap. Y'all know I don't cap for Nintendo. It looks like it is a good looking game. That ain't no cap, bro.
I agree.
That is not no bullshit or no cap. So I don't understand where that argument, it makes no sense to me.
None at all. I mean, Returnal didn't look like The Last of Us 2. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't get. Like I said, if niggas is talking about graphics all of a sudden for a console that never said it was going to be the best graphics in gaming, then I don't know what the fuck to tell you. They're giving you the product that they promised you. They have delivered that product. And if you don't have a Switch, then you don't understand it, or it wasn't for you. But to expect a Switch to run the same graphics as an Xbox or a PlayStation, you just sound like one dumb motherfucker. Not you, I'm just saying anybody who says that shit. If you expect it to have the same graphics as something that has 12 teraflops, 9 teraflops, 6 teraflops, 4 teraflops, we're talking about a Switch, a handheld device that has never once said anything about resolutions or frame rates or anything. It said, here's our games, enjoy them shits. And they snap their finger.
I'm sorry to cut you off. Let me say something, because Sable said in the chat a few months ago, Persona's side, he said he was tired of 2D pixel art games. He wants to see more next-gen stuff. Now he's capping for this garbage. Wrong. What I said was, when it came to indie games and what some indie developers saying that they're not getting the support that they think they should get, I said that when it came to that type of support, a lot of people aren't looking for that, or you have to make your game's presentation look better, right? And when it comes to next-gen, I was speaking to PlayStation and the cross-gen games, and I've always maintained that stance. 1, 2. Again, Metroid Dread, it's not some pixel art bullshit. Again, so Saber, I see you trying to catch me and you got an L, but this ain't, no, because I know everything that I say, and I maintain my stance on everything. So come on, Saber, come in the chat. Why are you talking? Saber, why are you talking in the chat and not in the Discord? Why, bro? Like, I don't get it. State your stance in this Discord.
It's crazy to me because, like, a 2D Metroid was been asking for a very long time, for years. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't want that 3DS bullshit. Now the Switch is on here now. It's much more powerful. Yeah, you know what I mean? And now when we have it, it's like, oh, it ain't worth 60. Like, what?
And I think what someone said that, why is this happening now and not like weeks and months ago? I think it's because of the reviews. I think the reviews came out. It's going to be a Game of the Year contender. It's going to be at Keighley show. And I think people wasn't expecting it. And when I say people, I mean people that don't really play Nintendo. They probably don't even have a Switch. So they just look at the game and go, this is not a Game of the Year contender. It should be $30. Like, that's just like their natural reaction. That's what I think. So I think ever since the reviews came out, That's why people are kind of like downplaying it, in my opinion, because I didn't hear any of this weeks or months ago.
What it got to do with the fact that people are saying that it's not worth whatever price or whatnot? I'm not,
because reviews influence people's views on games. Not mine, but
not per se reviewed, but more like visual. When you're seeing a game, then you're gonna talk about it. It's not about the review. I think people commonly think about the actual gameplay and the game itself, and not so much the review.
I understand what he's saying though,
but I disagree with everything they say. Like, this looks great. It looks actually fantastic. I just wish I had a Switch. I would definitely have bought it.
Yeah, this game is I've been playing. I played it last night. I was playing it. I just turned it off. I probably played about 5-6 hours. It looks good to me. It's a Switch game. It's not a PS5 game. The graphics look good. It looks like I expected the game to look on Switch. It's a premium experience, I think, for a side-scrolling Metroidvania game. So all this talk about price, I don't understand this whole thing about this game is not worth this. If you don't want it, just don't buy it. It's that simple. If you want the game, value is subjective. If you see something and you want to pay the price for it, pay for it. If you don't buy it. Most of these guys, it's sad to see the PlayStation guys doing this. Because like you guys were saying, this was the argument that a lot of Xbox people were having. And now you see PlayStation guys doing the same thing. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's the thing for me too, Link. It's like, listen, we all crack jokes, make fun, whatever, right? But the same talking points that you see Xbox dudes do for PlayStation games, you see PlayStation dudes, quote unquote, doing the shit with Nintendo, and I'm like, well, damn, you can't throw stones in a glass house, bruh. You doing the same shit, like literally same shit, bruh. And listen, those that know me know I always, if it's a chance, I'll always get at Nintendo for their bullshit. You know this. This ain't one of those times, man. For me, it's not one of those times. I don't see it as one of those times, personally. What did Saber say? I said to see PS guys making excuses for Nintendo. Bruh, you expected better. Yo, Saber, you gotta be trolling, bruh. Yo, what I tell you, bro. What I tell you, Saber. I'm a gamer first and a PlayStation fan second. You've clearly forgotten. You've been watching me for how long? You've clearly forgotten, bro. I ride for PlayStation as much as the next person, but I ain't gonna cap. If that's what you expected me to do, is cap. You know better than that.
Actually, we're talking hard on PlayStation right now. Good on you.
Listen. For y'all that follow me and watch my content, y'all know I ain't gonna cap for shit. Y'all know that. Yo, Saber, the fact that you expect that, I'm disappointed in you, bruh. As a PlayStation fan to another, I'm very disappointed in you to think that I would cap like that. Hell no.
Is this show called is your show called PlayStation Speaks or PlayStation from the Heart or something like that? Like, why are these niggas getting confused? Thinking that you gonna label somebody just because y'all niggas part of the console war where you label yourselves behind a console. I prefer a PlayStation, and a lot of people do prefer PlayStations, but nigga, that don't mean that you don't like other consoles, my nigga. Stupid. Man, that nigga gotta be trolling. Nigga,
yeah,
I'll slap a nigga
Saber trolling. Saber trolling. I ain't paying attention to Saber. He trolling. I did want to get y'all thoughts on one more thing. Everyone in here, man. There's a lot of y'all in here too in the panel. I'm very happy to see some new faces in here. Shout out to Hen 10 finally coming through. Jazzy,
yo, what up?
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
So I want to ask y'all a question about this whole Jim Ryan thing. Let me get these super chats real quick. Yo, Hatsuma, appreciate you, man. $2 super chat says, feels hit hard, bro. Hit so hard to my 8th grade. Appreciate you. Shout out to Saber, Cyber Dragon, man. 7 months as a member on the channel. You know, I appreciate you. He says, play the games you buy the games you play. Simple. Exactly. It's that simple. That's it. It's simple. Yo, Stan O'Malley, man, appreciate you. $5 super chat says, thoughts on people comparing stealing games to streaming music and TV and movies. I think it's different. It's extremely different. If you gotta go to some torrent site to get a game and it's not a site that's affiliated with the company, it's stealing. You understand? Sony, Sony, Disney, or whatever, They put their movies or whatever in those streaming services for people to enjoy, and with a contract from Netflix or whatever. That's how that works. You're not going on a torrent site to download some bootleg or some motherfucker walking past the screen every 5 minutes. It's a serious question. No, he's
hey, Persona, you remember that mom
asking,
and pop show that was ripping torrents?
Yeah.
And they got sued by Nintendo?
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if it's not affiliated with the site or with the company, yes, it's stealing. There's no affiliation. There's no bill of sale or anything. He said thoughts on people comparing stealing games to streaming music and TV, streaming music, TV, and movies. I think it's different. That's what he said. It's extremely different. Again, Apple Music has contracts with Sony Music and Atlanta Records or whoever, Motown, whatever, to have that music on Apple's platform for people to stream and enjoy. You ain't stealing the fucking music. Like, you know, Vudu, Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, whatever, all those movies you see on there, that's because they went to the owners of those movies to say, hey, we want your movies in our service. Are you cool with that? We'll give you this much money. Sure, you can have it in there, and that's it. Going to some uTorrent or Pirate Bay, I don't even know if Pirate Bay is up anymore, but those crazy torrent pirating sites to get shit, that's not an affiliate of anything. You're stealing. Yo, Henry Heck, appreciate you, man. $5 super chat. He says, motherfuckers got a 401k and out here stealing games. Yo, 401ks, IRAs, a 2-car garage, 2 cars, all the Kate spent 60 on to get crazy. Priorities, crazy. Yo, Philip Collins, well, Philip DVG, appreciate you. He says, lie about it, steal it, and kill the IP. Twit 614. Crazy.
But I think that's what is eventually going to happen. You know, people keep stealing, it kills off the IP.
Yo, this is why
Metroid is gonna sell crazy though. I still think it's gonna I don't know. I think that game's gonna sell crazy. Like even with people pirating, like I don't think that game gonna flop. No way.
Nah,
I do want to see that new Metroid Prime 5 though.
The people who are pirating this game wasn't going to buy it in the first place. It's not going to affect a single normal thing that Nintendo has. Like these people they are PC guys and they are going to do it anyways. So they were never customers to begin with.
Your PC deserves nothing. I maintain
PC.
that. I maintain that stance to the end of time. PC deserves nothing.
The worst thing about PC gamers, in my opinion, is the fact that they always act like they're the self-righteous. They always have the highest moral ground and everything, but they're the lowest of the low once you actually talk to them and see where they truly stand on things.
Well, no, they're the lowest of the low when you start finding out what they rig can actually do. You feel me?
Yeah.
All these dope rigs that you see in the wild, the percentage of people that can actually game at that high of quality and level, that percentage is actually a lot smaller than what people think, right? Like a lot smaller.
Some of these dudes couldn't even tell the difference between 30 frames and 60 frames from a PS2 emulator SMT Nocturne a while ago.
That's what I'm saying. And it's like, yo, when it comes to like the frames, sure, they could game at 120. I mean, I can do 120 on this bullshit fucking gaming laptop I got, right? I can do 120 frames at like 1080p or whatever, right? But I think that's the sweet spot for a lot of people. A lot of people aren't gaming at 4K, 120 frames. A lot of people aren't gaming at, you know, with the HDR and all that. No, most people, no. But yo, I did want to ask you guys a question about this whole Jim Ryan thing, because that was the other thing I was going to talk about. But obviously, you know, that whole thing is kind of slipping around, and we know what happened when Phil Spencer was talking about, you know, no, we're not going to put things on PC day and date. We just want to explore our options and all that bullshit he was saying back in the day. And then it became what it is now. And with Jim Ryan saying that, you know, he wants to see a future where PlayStation games reach a wider audience, tens of millions, tens of millions, right? I want to know, what is y'all interpretation of that? What do you think he meant? You know, peel back the layers. What do you think he meant by that? And what do you think that means for the future of PlayStation? We can start with you, Blandrew.
Coming to me last. I'm doing something right now. Sorry about that.
B Staples, let's start with you, man. You know, you already got this on your side of things, so you can give us an answer to help us cope. Go ahead.
I think, well, Jim Ryan is a businessman, and his job is to bring more money and more faces to PlayStation. So I think that's just what he's trying to do. Whether I don't think games will go to PC day and date, but they're definitely going to push harder for mobile. I seen today they just hired for some guy from Apple to lead their mobile division or something. So they're definitely going to go harder at that. They're going to put more games on PC as well. They're just trying to bring more people to PlayStation. When you look at the console, I mean, it's probably plateaued console sales. Like PS2 is probably the peak. I don't think anything is ever going to outsell the PS2. It was just a perfect storm. Microsoft's first console, the GameCube was and the Dreamcast was finished. So, like, I don't think, like, the PS5 is going to outsell the PS2. So, PlayStation is trying to make more money, and they know they got to go past the console. Whether that's PC and mobile, they'll explore that avenue. But, yeah, that's what I think.
Okay.
I don't know when they're going to do it, but eventually.
All right, yo, Hen 10, what you think, bro?
I really don't have an opinion on that. You know, I stick to like when you had your little meet and greet with the former PlayStation guy. Can't remember his name. Sorry,
Sean Layden.
But yeah, that's gonna take a minute. You know, I mean, like I don't think we're at that age where streaming is that profitable and stuff like that. You know, that's gonna take a minute until like we get wide, internet, broadband, all that bullshit, like to peak where you can play anywhere. You know. We're not at that level yet. That's it.
All right. Yo, Jazzy, what you think,
bro? As far as Jim Ryan goes, like the guy that said earlier, he's just like a talking head. So yeah, if you want more people to play on their games more accessible or whatnot, I kind of get that. Now I wish they would follow that up, like bringing some of their older legacy games from PS1 and PS2 onto PS4 and PS5. And I don't really care about the PC. Just follow up like what you was planning to do for PlayStation 2 games from PS4. I've only got like a few of those. So I figured, if you're gonna do that, hey, just bring some of those games onto the PS5 or PlayStation Store. If that's the case, like there's way more games that's still on PS1 and PS2 that they could bring over as well. Like even first party games, like the original Ape Escape. I know they could bring that over just fine. But that's about it.
Wow. That takes me back.
Akarba, what you think? What do you think of Jim Ryan's words and
yeah, I've seen the whole mobile thing. They said it before. They want more to focus more on mobile, but as much as I hate what I'm about to say, I would not be surprised if they go day and day. Monkey see, monkey do. That's all it is. Yeah. It's laughable. It's everything under the sun.
No, I'm just laughing at you saying monkey see, monkey do. That shit.
But it is not
monkey pee all over you.
They seen it with the PlayStation, Xbox Live, paying for Xbox Live, and what did PlayStation do? They follow through. Like that's why I said monkey see, monkey do. And I would genuinely not be surprised anymore if PlayStation go day and day. That would be not shocking for me anymore.
Go ahead, Blandrew.
I'm gonna just say I feel like we as a community, especially on the console side of things, we put way too much power in the hands of PC gamers. I don't think they buy games like these, like people like. We're not gonna get to 100 million off the strength of PC gamers, in my opinion. PlayStation consoles.
Thank you, bro.
We know that, but the problem is the PlayStation and Xbox doesn't know or they don't care about that.
No, I'm saying like PlayStation consoles, they generally hit 100 million outside of the PlayStation 3. They generally hit 100 million, and the easiest way to get 100 million sales in a way would be to do something more like Game Pass. I think mobile and PC isn't exactly how you do it. That's just another avenue of money, but they're not looking for 100 million off PC gamers.
But I'll say this, Blendrew. I think PlayStation knows that the PS5 is going to crack 100 million, but maybe that's just not good enough for them. Maybe they want more. That's what I think. I don't think that's good enough.
Getting way higher.
I was gonna say the budgets of the games, I think, is definitely playing into a part of them wanting to look elsewhere per se. But I don't think day and date is something that's in the future, at least not in the near future of PlayStation, because PlayStation, when it comes to PlayStation and really Sony, they've revolved all of what they do around PlayStation. So to push things from PlayStation being the best place to play, so to speak, right? And putting another platform within that on the same level of PlayStation when it comes to privilege, I personally, again, just my opinion, I think that would hurt the bottom line for both PlayStation and the hurt the brand. It's not like so bad to where it would be destroyed, but I think it would just hurt the bottom line just a tad bit when it comes to PlayStation, because when it comes to PlayStation 5, you want that to be the pinnacle. You don't want I don't want PC to be the pinnacle. I would want PlayStation to be that pinnacle.
Let me push on that for 1 second.
Please wait, no, back, no. Let me stop. Will you men please stop saying "let me push back on that" to other men, please? That shit sounds.
Omar, what you mean? What do you mean by "let me push back"? What do you mean, bro? You think this is a dance club?
On your fucking comment.
Do you think it's your birthday? Go. It's your birthday. What you mean by that, Omar? Huh?
Please stop saying "let me push back on that" to other men, please. Please stop saying that shit. Because in spaces, y'all motherfuckers be saying that. Let me push back on that. I'm gonna push back on that. Stop saying that shit, man. Please, go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay. My thing is, have we not say did we not say the exact same thing when it was first revealed the PlayStation might put games on PC to begin with? Like, we had this conversation before. And look what happened. Nothing happened.
No,
yeah.
Finish your thought. No, finish your thought.
Yeah. So maybe like people like that own a beastly PC, they're gonna go to PC if PlayStation goes day and date. But if but most of the people, they're gonna stay with the console. So yeah, if PlayStation would ever go and day and date, I don't see a big shift is going to happen. Like, I've seen the entire PlayStation putting games on PC is going to be bad for the business, and look what happened. We just, I'm not per se accept it, but it's just the reality we're living in.
No, it's definitely a reality that we're living in. But I think when it comes to the PlayStation brand, obviously, people are gonna always buy PlayStations and things like that, but when you add another platform into the mix that is on par or surpasses the original, it can, like I said, I feel like it can hurt the brand just a bit. And like Sean Layden had said in the interview, hit what he was thinking of when it came to putting games on those platforms, where we give you a little bit, like a cheese and on a stick type of thing, right? We put a little out there for you in the hopes that it will pull some people over to our side. That approach I understand, but I don't think that Jim Ryan, this is my thought, I don't think Jim Ryan is using that approach 100%. I think his thought process is, we want to put stuff over there to make more money and keep making more money. So
that's all it's about, making money.
Can I get an input on that?
Yeah. Go ahead, Thrash.
I think day and day doesn't make sense for PlayStation, simply because for Sony, simply because their PlayStation console means something to them. Microsoft does it because Xbox is more of an experiment than an actual console made for gamers. Mm-hmm. But I'll say the way, like, if you listen to what he said he wants to get our artwork, our basically their software, to 100 million people in the distant future, right? Doesn't mean that it's going to even be PC. What I believe he's saying is, their TVs that they sell, like they're a hardware company and they have a lot of different hardwares with different type of markets. They can start putting PS Now on their own TVs instead of Samsung, like they did before. Put that on there, or they'll have PSVR on PC and people can consume their VR content through their PSVR, or there's just so many different ways they can do it. I mean, the PCs that they have, the BIOS, if they still make those, they'll do like Microsoft is doing with having Xbox shit on their shit. They already have the remote play, but maybe they're gonna do something to where you can literally either stream it or download it. Even download PS Now on PC. They might do that too, or put PSN and on PC and make their own store. Like Steam has their own store, Sony make their own store. Why do we got to do Steam when they can just literally make their own store and sell their own content similar to Epic? And
I'm gonna say one thing about that. If they put PlayStation Store on PC, do you think people that pay $60 or something for PlayStation Store, do you think they're gonna be happy with that yet?
Why wouldn't they be happy with it?
Because we pay for online, and PC is gonna get started for free.
How you know? That's just Microsoft we're talking about. There's plenty of subscription services on PC. It's just that they already PC people have already rejected Microsoft. If they want to enjoy PlayStation games, Sony has the ability with the quality of game that they actually have to do it, and people will pay for PS Plus.
I don't think they will. I absolutely don't think they will. They're gonna.
I think your problem is that you're too busy thinking Sony is Microsoft. Like, Microsoft is a different company, and they've already failed in gaming in more ways than one. They don't gotta copy Microsoft. They're number one. They are not number last like Microsoft is. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Nintendo. Like, these companies have different brand names, and if you crazy as hell if you think that somebody wouldn't pay somebody wouldn't pay a PS Plus subscription to get God of War or to get Horizon downloadable. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the fuck they want to do to be able to enjoy real games. If Sony were to put their games on PC through their own store, if this was even the case, then PC, it would be the best games on PC, period. That 3090 that they bought, or in the future, the 4090 that they will buy, that cost them $2,000 would actually have a ability to be used properly. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the same. They're not the same company, man. Microsoft and Xbox are not, Xbox and PlayStation, they are not the same company. They are not in the same position. They do not make the same rules. They will not do day and date just because Microsoft is doing it. In fact, I ask you, what help has it done to Microsoft for that to have their games day and date on Steam?
When it pertains to Microsoft, I will say that a lot of their games are more PC centric, and like games like Sea of Thieves and a couple other ones, we're seeing a lot more success over there than Xbox guys going out there and buying them on the console.
Yes.
Excuse me?
How much more success?
I don't know.
Like,
I don't have those exact numbers, but I do know like a lot of their games are more PC centric, and then they kind of just throw the Xbox fans along for the ride.
Right.
I want to say
PlayStation won't take approach because
go ahead.
How is that doing for Microsoft? Is it doing any good for especially is it doing good for Xbox? Like, PlayStation is more critical to Sony than Xbox is to Microsoft. If they fuck PlayStation up, that company probably be fucked. Same thing with Nintendo. So it's like they gotta do whatever they're gonna do. They're gonna have to do it that doesn't affect PlayStation too hard. That's why they're giving PS4 games when a PS5 is done. They give PS4 games and nobody else is buying PS4 games. In fact, they gave most of these games for free on not for free, but with PS Plus on the PS5 when you got it. They gave Days Gone after it was already included in PS Plus for a PS5 game. You know what I mean? Like, they're doing it in steps this way just to make sure that their console still has that value, because they are in a different position than Microsoft is with the Xbox.
And PC, if you look at Microsoft's strategy on PC, initially they weren't really putting their games on Steam. They were selling them through the Windows Store, but PC players didn't want to use Windows Store. So now they have to give Steam a cut of their own games when they could sell them directly through their own store. And putting their games on PC, I didn't see a huge uptick in sales by them putting their games day and date on PC, and PC has a huge player base. So
Yeah,
I think this
exactly.
idea of selling 100 million copies of a game and all this stuff, it's a pipe dream. You know what I mean? And so I feel like Sony trying to
Well,
chase that.
no, finish your thought. Finish your thought. Sorry, go ahead.
I understand mobile and streaming and all this stuff, but I just feel like the mobile crowd is just interested in different types of games. And so I just feel like this idea, yeah, you want to sell, you always want to grow as a company and sell more, but chasing this PC player base, yeah, you're going to sell more copies, but I don't, at the same time, it's being detrimental to your own platform.
Well,
let me push up on that.
Y'all are crazy, bro.
What happened?
Y'all are crazy. Keep saying that.
I can't get my thoughts.
He did it on purpose.
Yeah, Barry, no, I don't like that, man. That's why you always say it. You keep saying this shit.
My bad, Lane. Let me push back a little bit on there. You know what I mean? But this is what I feel. What Jim Ryan means with that. Because at the end of the day, you can put your games on PC, you can put your games on whatever, but is that going to build your own infrastructure as far as like PSN, right? I feel that they're going to incorporate PSN into other platforms like the mobile. You see a big mobile push with all these hirings and all that stuff. And I think PlayStation going to dip their toe in again when it comes to mobile effort. So they're going to give a much better effort when it comes to mobile. They tried it with a PS4. You know what I mean? Adding like Knack Runner and Knack Puzzle Game and Uncharted Runner and all that stuff. I feel that we're going to get like dumbed down versions of some of the games that we have here as well. But I do feel like going to implement PS Now and like PSN eventually, because at the end of the day, they want to boost that number. You know, yeah, they're saying, oh, we got 120 concurrent, monthly active users on PSN. If he wants, what he's trying to say is he wants more people to play the games, right? So yeah. You're adding that stuff in there, but you're also applying PSN there, so you increase the PSN numbers. No different than what Microsoft is doing when it comes to Windows and PC. I do agree with Thrash. Like I feel like if you're going down a PC route, it's kind of a waste not having your own like store there, your own storefront there, because like I said, when you go and put your games on the PC, you are taking away all of the accolades that you tout each quarter's earnings and stuff like that. Here's our PlayStation Plus numbers. Here's our PSN numbers. Here's what we sold here and this. Every month they have a fucking digital download shit, from PlayStation 5 to PlayStation 4, you know what I mean, on there. VR games as well. Those numbers are going to dwindle if you keep on pushing. Like if we think people were saying the PC front, because those things that they tout is not on PC. That's Steam. You know what I mean? You put your games on Steam. That's not PSN. That's not the PlayStation Store. So I feel like if they're gonna put their stuff on PC and not have that push for having their own storefront, an actual PSN on there, it'll be a waste in my opinion. So
The thing with that, Jay Barry, is I don't know how in tune you are with the PC community, like just in general, but they're pretty picky when it pertains to using certain storefronts. They won't use anything that's not Steam. If you tell them a game is exclusive to the Epic Games Store or something like that, they'll be like, "Ahoy, me mateys! I'll be pirating this game from Epic Games Store." Or something stupid. That's the unfortunate part. So you can't really do a non-Steam deal with these guys.
"Ahoy, me mateys!"
Yeah.
This is why I genuinely don't see them pay for PlayStation Plus. Like, this is the exact reason why.
Yeah, but like me, I don't like somebody speaking. I don't know if somebody's speaking.
Yo, my man said, "Ahoy, me mateys!"
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. Blaine. I think the PC. I don't think they need the PC front. You know what I mean? PlayStation been doing really, really well when it comes to the console market of things. Without the PC, but yeah, I guess they're thinking about long term, future.
They want to do better. They want to do better.
I mean, they're doing better than the competition.
But that's the
sure. But they don't care about the competition. They trying to make more money.
What you mean they don't care about the competition? At the end, listen. Yeah, they're making more money, but at the end of the day, you don't want to sacrifice. Like one thing I respect about Nintendo, Nintendo go for the bag, but they have their integrity with it. You don't like their decisions, that's up to you. You know what I mean? You make that choice. I don't like when people try to break their stance. Like I like when companies have their stance. They have a certain integrity that okay, this is our platform. You want to play our games, you got to come to us kind of mentality. At the end of the day, I feel like the PC front, they're gonna make the money there, but you're gonna lose out on a lot of other aspects of like PSN numbers is going to dwindle, PS Plus numbers is going to dwindle because why? You're not playing for PS Plus on PC. So are you really making more money on the long front because all that recouping, all that monthly revenue, that yearly revenue that you would normally get when your games are on one platform? Now, if your game's on two platforms that don't require those things, are you really making more money? B Staples, what's your degree? What is your degree?
What do you mean, my degree?
Do you have a background in business, sir?
I have a
not in
console
business. This ain't computer engineering. It ain't in business.
I got a console engineering degree. I'm a console engineer.
Yeah, like the whole PC thing. To me, at the end of the day, it's more like a short term thing when it comes to money wise. Because you have these old games that they put it on there that's typically not selling currently right now on PlayStation. So you're gonna get revenue. You're gonna get money. But when it comes to the long term things, you got to look at the side effect. Like I said, PlayStation Plus numbers can go down, which they highly require, or not require, but they highly what's the word I'm looking for?
They tout these big numbers.
Not even tout, but they kind of like
hold in high regard.
They depend on, because
that's revenue.
That's recurring revenue that's coming
in. That's guaranteed.
If you keep people those subscriptions.
How crazy is someone? No, that's good. How crazy? It's crazy that the fact that they would have to type in a different website is something they not willing. That's so crazy to me, bro. Like,
click a different icon.
Yeah, it's like, bro, you don't even.
you
don't even want to do that.
But sometimes different storefronts mess with like your performance. Like I know that's why some people don't use the Microsoft, because it kind of messes up. Like PC, they all about performance. Like they need their frames, everything in tip top shape, and I think Steam is the best for that.
Hey, I think there's something that
240 frames, and they still suck at COD. They still got a cheating COD. Come on, man. I don't want to hear that, bro.
Yeah, PC gamers are garbage. Like, I mean, look at their life. You know what I'm saying? They sit there and they fucking get twist ties to tie their fucking wires up. Fuck them niggas. Look. But I think
cable man.
They said twist ties.
He meant zip ties, I think.
Yeah,
no. Twist ties because they're metal and dumb. You know what I'm saying? Look,
okay. Damn.
Look.
Go ahead, though. She got the floor.
I think it's something that we forgot, that it might actually make sense. They're going to start making games exclusively for other platforms.
Cool.
Again. Sony. Yeah. I mean, they used to do it. Remember how? Nigga,
I mean, you see it with
remember,
MLB.
Sony, what was it called? It was Sony Online something, but it was the niggas who made PlanetSide.
Sony Online Entertainment.
They
changed
had
their name to Daybreak.
That was making their games, bro. And then remember Nintendo, they had a studio that was building just for the Switch. Do y'all remember that shit?
Yeah.
We're gonna bring that shit up. I'll look it up again. I forgot the name, but people were talking about that, and they did the same thing for cell phones. They got to making a development team to make games for cell phones. Maybe that's what he means. Maybe he's saying, okay, we got our PlayStation shit. It wouldn't make sense to put PlayStation shit on a cell phone because cell phone gamers are different, like somebody said here earlier. Same thing with PC gamers. PlanetSide wasn't like really a fucking console game. It felt like a PC game when you played it, even when they brought it to consoles.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking that's probably what they're gonna do. Oh, look at all these studios they buying, all this extra developers they buying. Maybe it's to actually have different teams make different type of games for these different platforms, like cell phone and PC. Those are the true competition of consoles. Those are different markets.
You think?
I think that when he hold on, Omar. I think when he speaks to reaching millions more gamers, I think because he says that they're when it comes to PlayStation, they're capping out 20-30 million sold And he's like,
Right. And
in
if
order
all
to
the
reach,
developers are based on the PlayStation.
yeah. So
If they start making developers and going to different markets, then they can have hundreds of millions of people enjoying their artwork. He didn't even say a specific game. He said artwork. And if you have a developer making artwork for this specific platform, like they did before, I mean, this isn't outlandish. It's already happened with them, right?
well, no, it has, but I think in my opinion, I think some of that is, again, I don't think day and date, but I do think probably putting more of like the PlayStation 4 catalog on.
But that would help
PC and
PlayStation,
also-
wouldn't it?
Huh?
At the end of the day, that has a means to an end, right? I mean, why wouldn't they just make a development team specifically for that, and even have like Naughty Dog Online or whatever the fuck?
Well, it
like,
doesn't because it doesn't make sense to just devote one development team to putting that out when
No,
what he's
me.
saying is that's a lot of money. I mean, obviously more development teams means more games they can make, which is a potential for more profit. But I think with what his thought process is, it's more so about the existing teams as well, right? I think he's speaking of PlayStation's catalog. I think he's speaking of PlayStation's catalog as a whole, right? To go through the trouble of building a separate division of development teams to only develop games for PC, mobile, or whatever, I feel like that's a waste of resources because you're keeping games from a PlayStation, and two, it's more money and resources that's being devoted to a platform that might not be able to reach the same sales projections as PlayStation. So why not just
like this,
create?
though?
Why not just why not just create games like with the studios you have? Obviously, still expand, but have those games that are created from the ground up for PlayStation, and then move them elsewhere because you still have the it's the movie method. Make all the big box office sales in the movies, and then trickle down.
Right, but that's not having the same impact. Like, how much did it with Horizon? How many copies did Horizon sell?
Well, granted, Horizon, I agree with you. And just to play devil's advocate, Horizon is also about 4 years old by the time it released on there. If they shorten up, but see, Days Gone and Uncharted and things like that. Well, Uncharted is also about 3-4 years old. But I don't know. It's weird. I don't know.
Think on it. What Persona, think on it real quickly. Just like what you just said, right? If it's too old, it's not going to sell well, and if it's too not, it's going to affect your PlayStation group, right? But if you start making shit exclusively for the PC or exclusively for cell phones, then PlayStation niggas can't say shit because look, it's not a PlayStation game; it's a PC game. It's a cell phone game. It looked like a cell phone game. Play like a cell phone game. You don't gotta.
I feel like that's a waste.
Dude.
I feel like that's a waste of resources.
If you make a Horizon Zero Dawn on exclusively for mobile, and you give it its own story, yeah, people are going to play.
Not
everyone wants to play on mobile.
Not Horizon Zero Dawn, bro. Its own game, like PlanetSide.
Because I know, for one, Microsoft has Age of the Empires exclusively for the PC,
right?
And Nintendo, they have like Mario Kart, they have Animal Crossing, they have a whole bunch of other mobile exclusives, but they're not really.
Go's on there, but
Pokemon Go.
I don't know
what the other one is called, but yeah, they've got a successful.
Fire Emblem Heroes.
For cell phone exclusively for PC. Sony's the only one really not doing it, and maybe that's probably the better idea. Because Pokemon Go on cell phones was a cell phone game, and no Nintendo fans was like, we want that too. It was none of that.
They are doing it. There's a name called what's called the fucking game?
Didn't you guys get like Uncharted Rebellion and stuff like that?
It generates a million or something on mobile. Fate something game.
Oh, Fate Stayed Night or whatever.
Yeah. Like they're already doing it. But with this, I'm seeing going PlayStation route with it, putting PlayStation IPs, and let's say even if if it's just mindless running and jumping and nothing, people don't gonna care. But if it's genuinely a story-driven with fantastic gameplay and stuff like that, people are gonna want that shit on PlayStation.
No, but see, don't make it a PlayStation brand game. You know what I'm saying? Like, Sony should have the ability to make games outside of PlayStation. It's just not for PlayStation. That's the only way not to hurt the market. I'm telling you, either I'm smarter than them or that's what the plan is. Because they have the talent to do it. They have the resources to do it. They have the everything to do it. They've already done it.
See, but that's a
And
waste.
their
That's a
brand is
waste
stronger
of. That's a waste of resource. What I'm saying
Yeah,
is
but
that's a waste
in a
of
way,
resources.
it's already
and-
happening though,
Resources.
because
Hold on. Why is it a waste of resources if cell phone has 2 billion gamers on it? If that
Because
market is
just
already
because there's 2 billion gamers doesn't mean that those 2 billion gamers are gonna gravitate
exactly,
towards
they
the
get
game that you make.
1%.
How many
They
plays?
get 1%
Hold on.
that
How many
have 200
cell phone games live
or
in Apple and Google Play stores that never see the light of day? How many games released on Steam and all these other places that don't see the light of day, right? In order to garner the attention that PlayStation may want from PC or cell phones, the game has to be, one, recognizable by the general public, and two, be marketed and created in such a way that it's compelling to want to be purchased and played. To do something like that, To do something like that, they would need to devote an amount, especially if they're having their own separate studio to do that, the amount of resource, money, and time they would have to do to devote something like that, as opposed to just having the studios that they already have create games that we know, love, and want, and then port them to PC and get, 600-700, however many 100,000 they may get from that. That seems like a safer option as opposed to devoting that amount of time and stuff into creating something new that might not sell.
I don't know. They bought Nixus, right?
Yes.
Maybe it's for that reason. What Nixus gonna do otherwise? What have they ever done?
They've done a lot of PC porting, but they, from
porting?
my understanding,
They have also helped PlayStation push out games.
Right.
Like
But
they
think
did
about-
that with, for example, Killzone Shadowfall.
yeah, not only that, but shout out to
About specifically about that, yeah.
Shout out to
Sean
hold on,
Lee said?
Guapzilla. Shout out to Guapzilla because he said Nixus also said they'll be making their own original IP, but nobody ever mentions that. Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah.
Because
own
that
original
when they
IP
first,
for PC.
but they said when they first got bought, that's what they said. No, they never said their own original IP for PC. They said they'll be creating their own original IP. They never specified platforms. But
They
if
never
you
did,
own,
did they?
But if you're owned by PlayStation, isn't it not safe to assume that this game would be something that's being made for PlayStation?
I mean, look, Sean Layden said it himself, right? They don't buy developers for games; they buy developers for the talent. Basically, is what he said, right? Like he buys them for them. He doesn't buy them like you don't buy the studio for the games just to get a game. You buy it for whatever they can do, what talent you can utilize as. Nexus is real familiar with the PC piece, like making games on PC. With the PC language and how to make gaming. Everybody has this language for PlayStation, but Nexus specialty is to have this language in between both of those, right? So they have this knowledge of PC. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to convince nobody. I'm just saying, this is a possibility, bro, a real possibility.
I'm 50-50 with it because I agree with you, but I disagree because the example that when Nixus was bought, that Herman Hulse used was to help them ship Killzone Shadowfall. You know what I mean? That's a PlayStation 4 game that they used them to do. Like I feel like when it comes to PlayStation in-house studios, I think support studios like Team Ice, like Nixus, they're not going to be doing ports. They're going to be helping towards like pushing the game out or getting the game together. And I think when it comes to like the PC games that they've been doing, they might do the same route that they've been doing with like Horizon and Days Gone and all that bullshit. But I don't think they're going to use them for that.
What I also think is one thing to keep.
But I'm
in mind,
50-50 on it.
One thing to keep in mind with PlayStation is all the studios that they have been grabbing up in terms of acquisitions. They've also been heavily expanding and staffing up, right? So Nixus is getting expanded and getting more staff. Fire Sprite and Rubik Games are expanding and hiring for hundreds of positions. Same thing with Housemarque with expanding, growing, and becoming a true AAA studio. So I think with these acquisitions, and obviously Blue Point, growing that and things like that. But with these acquisitions that they've already done, it's definitely them trying to. I do think they'll actually be growing these studios as well and making them into much larger than what they already are, so that they can sustain the flow of content, however that may be.
I don't know. All I do know is PS Now failed on PC, cell phones, and other platforms. And if they're gonna try to reboot and do the same exact thing, then that's insane. If they try a different way, if they do a different way, they've already done what Microsoft has done. Microsoft has didn't succeed. Stadia didn't succeed. There's got to be another way they're thinking about to reach 100 million. He didn't say billion like Microsoft and them. He didn't say billion. That's a key word for me.
I don't think he's. See, but that's the thing, though. I don't think that PlayStation is thinking of reaching that in terms of PS Now. I think they're looking at that from a game by game basis, because when you look at the sales, of all of their titles, every title isn't reaching 10, 20, or even 30 million people. The select few titles that reach those, monumental numbers are, very not small, but they're definitely can be counted on maybe two hands. I think what his thought process is the other sets of games that do not reach that level of numbers that they're looking for. Those are games that could be good candidates for going somewhere else to reach a larger audience. He wants more people. That's what I think. I mean, listen, I could be wrong, and rightfully so. And if it is, then I'll definitely accept, whatever it might be coming down the pipeline. But I'm not saying that what you're saying is completely not true or can't happen, because they could, because they're definitely on a buy-in spree right now, and they're definitely trying to grab studios, and they definitely have a plan in motion for what they're trying to do. We just need to see it fully realized. So I think you do make valid points, Thresh.
I mean, the money they put into Epic, and then Epic got their own store. What if they're gonna make a game exclusively for Epic Store? And Epic was already willing to give them 250 million. Just give us 250 million for a game exclusively for your shit.
Or what
that
if
we'll make a new IP?
Or what if them investing into Epic means that they unify the PlayStation Store with Epic Store, and whatever you buy on PlayStation is cross-buy with Epic and PlayStation. It could be.
But that's exactly what Microsoft did, and they didn't do nothing for Xbox.
No, what up cross-buy though is what I'm saying. What if the next, for instance, just for argument's sake, the next, let's say God of War.
It gets them into the PC market that way.
Yeah, like say so like say something on that you buy on PlayStation, it's also cross-buy between PlayStation and PC, but through Epic Store. So the stores are unified to where, if I buy the next God of War or whatever on PlayStation, I know that if I was to ever go to PC, that game would still be with me if I, do it through Epic Store or whatever the case, something along those lines. It could be something like that to integrate.
It would be cheaper if they just did the same thing and then just did a third party and put it on Epic Store and get 70% of the money instead of none of it.
True.
You know what I mean? Like, you're giving away 2 games for one price when you can just get 2 games for 100%, one for 70%. That would just hurt your numbers. That'd be a waste, wouldn't it? And plus, Epic, it's not even that big of a popular store right now to even be taking that kind of risk.
I agree with that. Damn.
True, but PlayStation might be seeing something numbers wise or seeing stuff on the back end that we're not seeing, that may clue them into saying, you know what, maybe this is. And again, this is all hypothetical, but I'm just saying, we're not in the room. We're not in the room 100% of the time, or even 10% of the time for that matter. So we only know what gets announced to us. But what they're seeing on the back end might be, okay, this might be something that blows up. Let's buy into this and build this out. Who knows? I don't know. We don't know, but we'll see.
Yeah, I want to know when this is gonna happen too, because he's been saying stuff like this for like a year now. I feel like. So I mean, I want to know like when we'll know fully of their plans instead of just speculating. It's just, I don't know, whenever they feel comfortable telling us.
Yeah.
Because this isn't like, I don't think this caught anyone off guard that he said this, right? Like, I feel like he's been saying things like this for a minute now. So
I mean, the fact that Days Gone and games like that and Uncharted and all this is going to PC.
Yeah.
Him saying this is not really as surprising, or really even has me, because I've already explained my stance with games going to PC a million times. I'm not going to keep explaining why I disagree. But I'm not surprised or anything. Right.
Man, if you want to catch some different fish, you got to throw some bread into the water. See who bites.
Yeah.
The Last of Us multiplayer will release day and date on PC. That's what I believe.
If that happens, I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably gonna be disgusted, because if it's releasing day and date on PC and it's crossplay, you're gonna fuck that community up, because you're gonna have all these stupid ass cheaters that are gonna be fucking aimbotting and wall hacking, and it killed that type of stuff. That type of
Yeah.
stuff is what kills an online experience, because these people are always there's a lot of cheaters in COD, bruh, a lot, and they wall hack and aimbot and all this crazy shit. You know, a game like Uncharted, I mean, that or Last of Us, that really takes true skill, and you know, you really got to be strategic and all that. Yo, you got some fucking PC dude in there with a fucking aimbot. Come on, man. That's who the fuck's
That's
play that?
it depends on the devs though. Like the devs, they gotta make an anti-cheat because
Nah, there's ways around that stuff, man. That's all
Yeah,
broken.
there's-
Bro,
there's
Vanguard,
always ways around
Vanguard,
that.
the Vanguard beta had motherfuckers cheating, bro. Like, nah, man. It's,
yeah, but Activision, they don't give a shit.
I stopped cross playing COD because of that shit. I stopped cross playing it, and I stopped playing Warzone because I watched the literal. You know, when you die in Warzone, you can still watch somebody's camera, and I'm watching this guy with a semi-automatic machine gun, like sniping snipers, bro. Like just jumping down. He jumped down a building, shot somebody in the head, shot somebody all the way in the tower, like a mile away. And I'm like, of course he killed us.
yo, shout out to Guap. Guapzilla said the problem with Factions 2 releasing Day and Date on PC is its significant delay. If that can be attributed to getting Last of Us 2 compatible with minimum spec PCs, they would be held to. Yo, that's a great point, because if this releases next year or whenever it releases and it is Day and Date on PC, then we know why it was delayed, because of PC. And it's like, again, PlayStation fans suffering or having to suffer or wait at the because of I'm not going down that path because y'all know my stuff. If that's the case, that's disgusting. I would be very disgusted, and I'll be honest, I'd be really disgusted.
That does add to my theory, though. That does add to my theory, because if they make a development team that will make games exclusively for PC, then they can factor in the lower spec PCs, because most of these PC gamers are lower spec to begin with, and they can factor that in to where they can continue to make their high spec games on PlayStation 5 and still make a lower spec game exclusively for fucking PC, to where they can get that crowd of people. I don't know. I'm just my theory. I
definitely hear you, man. But yeah, man. Let's a good conversation. I love this conversation here. Yo, man. Let's get into these outros, man. Thrash, you can start us off, man. Give the people your outro. Who's Tommy? Tommy Vesera. Oh, he came through, but he left.
Oh, my bad.
Some Tommy guy came. But go ahead, Thrash.
All right. Thanks for having me. I'll see y'all niggas. I'm out.
Yo, Link, man, give us your outro, bro.
You say me?
No, Link.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you can give us, because Link ain't talking. Go ahead, give us your outro.
Thanks for having me here. It's always nice to talk with you guys about gaming. Support what you guys like. If you like this content, make sure you guys hit the like button. If you like video games, make sure you guys go out and support said video games and don't steal them. People work hard for those games. They got families to feed. What's wrong with you?
Yo, thanks. Appreciate you, Blends. Yo, man, you the new main host for Weapon Wheel? Like you?
Nah, I'm just holding it down.
BG needs to go ahead and make you the man. Make you that main host, that, man. Yeah, it was a good show, man. Y'all did y'all thing yesterday with Jaffe.
Make sure you guys check that episode out too. It was a pretty wild episode.
Yeah, I was laughing the whole time, bro. That shit was funny because BG just like, what have you done lately? Why should we listen? I'm like, bro, BG, this man created one of the greatest game series of all time, bro. What, like, you just talking to this dude like he's some nigga on the street. That shit was funny.
Kids Move will be hosting next week too, so make sure you guys check.
A word?
Yeah. That should be interesting.
I'm tuning in. I mean, I'm always tuning. I'm tuning in, bro. That's gonna be funny. That's gonna be funny. I
appreciate that.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Yo, B Staples, man, give us your outro,
bro. Thanks for having me. Good conversation as always. Nothing else. That's it.
But B Staples, I'm glad you ain't coming here capping today, man. I'm very happy for you, man. You ain't coming here capping like crazy like you normally do.
Oh, man.
Appreciate you. Jazzy, man, give us your outro, bro. Real quick, what's your name in the chat?
This is Jazzy Jefferson in the chat as well. It's the same thing.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I'm going back to playing Metro Dread. I've just beaten the game this morning. I'm going to be playing on hard mode. So, yeah, actually support the game, and just don't steal. Or if you're gonna steal, at least buy a physical copy of the game, because I know you got money for it.
Thanks. Appreciate you, man. Your Link, man, give us your outro, bro.
Great show as always. And I enjoy these topics. And if you know, support games, buy games. That's what I can tell you.
Facts. Yo, Barry, man, give us your outro, bro.
Great show, Persona. Great show, everyone. Great opinions, everyone. Buy your games, play your games, then talk about your games. I'm gone.
Yo, Omar, I forgot Omar. Yo, Omar, man, give us your outro, bro.
Hey, thanks for having me. Shout out to the panel. Hit the like button. Thank you for putting our show over, Persona. Like every single show almost, you're putting our show over. I genuinely appreciate that. And you guys, if you want to hear our show, go ahead and look up Game Player. I'm actually starting to title my show Game Player so people can find it on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Yo, you got a good panel. I think you know, it's a good show. Just keep everybody engaged and whatnot. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I think you should have some gameplay or something playing in the background, or like video or something like that. I mean, it's early.
No, it's a smart idea, but I just need to know how. I'm very new to OBS, so I need to learn how to do so. I'm actually waiting on my original Game Player background. My niece is still working on that stuff.
Okay.
When she's done, I'm gonna put some gameplay. You know me, I play my games.
Oh yeah, no doubt, bro. Like, listen, it's a good show. It's a cool show, man. I know you got a really good panel, and you know, I'm happy to support. This is a long time coming. I'm glad you finally, you know, getting this off the ground. So like, you know, I'm very happy to support and hear your thoughts on
Yeah, I genuinely appreciate that, and also I'm mad proud of my team. Like, my team is amazing.
Yo, good for you, Omar, man. You love to talk. It's about time you did a show. I'm joking. That's my man.
Hey, yo, Barry came in hella ghetto just now. Like, hey, yo, man, you love to talk.
Nah, I'm gonna definitely check you out right after this, Omar, because I didn't get to watch it this weekend, but I'm gonna watch it right after this.
Yeah, it's cool, man. It's a cool show. But yeah, man. So listen, man, I appreciate all y'all coming through. You know, shout out to Hen10. He said he don't have an outro, but I shout him out. Shout out to Hen10 and everybody else that came through. Listen, one of the great things about my community of supporters, we all can disagree, but you know, it's all respect, all love and respect at the end of the day.
Thank you, Persona, for letting me speak.
Yeah, no doubt, bro. Y'all already know what it is, man. I love it when y'all disagree in the chat, because you know we can have that good conversation, that good back and forth. Shout out to Saber, right? Never coming through to the Discord, but always got something to say in the chat, right? Get your ass in the Discord. Let's have that conversation. But yo, man, shout out to all of y'all, man. I appreciate y'all, man. If you agreed or disagreed, I just appreciate y'all coming. I appreciate y'all coming through and we having a cool conversation. And yo, man, listen, more stuff end of the week. What's up, PlayStation this Saturday? And yeah, man, I appreciate y'all. I'm about to chill. Y'all have a good night, man. Y'all be safe. Peace.